Welcome to 20 Sides Every Story. Whoops. Oops. Jumped in a little early. Anyways, welcome to 20 Sides Every Story. This is Winston. We're doing Spelljammer. Thank you for coming by the channel. If you are new to the channel, what you're going to be seeing tonight is we're going to be playing some of the official Spelljammer campaign. So this is the Light of Xaryxis. I'll say that 10 different ways. That's part of the charm. And we are on session 2. So we'll do a little bit of party introductions, that kind of thing, just to get everybody, in their character, and in case anyone's didn't see the first session, kind of catch up what's going on. But for the most part, this party's been through the first session. This is chapter 1 from the Light of Xaryxis campaign. And they are currently fleeing a destroyed planet. And I'll talk more about that and give the players a little bit of a recap here in just a second as well. So that said, if you are new to the channel and you want to hang out with us and talk during the game, you can talk in this Twitch. You can also talk in the Discord. A lot of times we have people who hop into like voice chat and do like a watch party during the sessions, or they just kind of hang out there and talk about weird things and discover new people on Twitch. Not necessarily even D&D. We have music Twitch people that we follow, all kinds of weird stuff. Come hang out with us in the Discord.
Twitch.tv/FredBob.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Fred Bob's name exactly, but come to Fred Bob. But anyways, we're going to be playing Spelljammer tonight. So I'll say a bit more about the channel as we go along, but I think probably the main thing that's worth talking about is that we are a community-driven channel, which means that basically everybody you see on the channel is drawn out from the community one way or the other. So that's right. So like I got my first time playing with this group just by watching along, and they started talking to me. I jumped in a community campaign, which is this campaign that we drew out from people who were just basically Twitch. I think at the time it was Twitch subs, but we since moved to like just anyone who's following the channel, or really just anybody that just wants to play. And now here I am DMing campaign, and pretty much everyone's come in through one vector or another through just the connections from other players. So if you like that kind of thing, that sounds interesting to you, if you like our vibe and how we play, hop in the Discord, come say hi in the community campaign section or in the regular lobby, and we'll get a game going. We'll get something happen. So that said, thank you Rimlock for the subscription. Appreciated. I feel like I probably need to subscribe. Let me see. I've got a couple more days left. Yay. Okay. All right. Great. So let's get started. So for the players, a little recap on last session. It's been 2 weeks. Last session, when we were playing, the party was on the planet of Mucopia. So Mucopia is the home world of the plasmoids, or a race of plasmoids in our setting. And 2 of the players, this is their home planet. The other 2 players, not necessarily their home planet, but they're all kind of buddies and shipmates and all that. And you are on Mucopia, and while you were running some errands, stocking your ship, maybe grabbing a bite to eat, the planet was rocked by a series of tremors, and after which some crystalline vines burst out of the ground all over the place, destroying buildings and creating havoc, and even spawning little sentient vines that hunted people down and sucked out all of their heat. And you did battle with them. You were able to successfully make your way to the docks, where you found a Spelljammer ship that was being commandeered by a local gangster. You were able to convince the local gangster to let some civilians on board the Spelljammer ship, as well as the rightful captain of the ship, Elena. And you, unfortunately, the method of convincing him was using the friend spell, which we all know turns the character hostile after 1 minute. So while the gangster let you on, as soon as that wore off, he realized he'd been fooled and deceived. It was like a Jedi mind trick that like wore off, and he declared that you all be killed and kicked off the boat. So fortunately, you succeeded in the fight. You subdued the gangster Travius, or Travis, whatever his name was. Unfortunately or fortunately, he ended up dying in the fight.
During the fight?
During the fight?
After the fight execution?
Post surrender. Post surrendering. There was an attempted execution that turned into a successful execution. And the Spelljammer ship took flight. You escaped from the planet, and we're going to pick up there that you're on the Spelljammer ship called the Moon Dancer. You have Captain Elena. You also have several of the thugs who surrendered during the fight that you didn't execute or assassinate. And you are currently on board the vessel. And so what we'll do, we'll do this every session, but just since it's session 2, let's do a little round of character introductions. Let's go with Alex. Tell us a bit about your character, just some basic details, level, race, that kind of stuff. And then just tell me, what are you doing on the ship right now?
Oh, Zephistopholes. He's a level 5 Thrycreen Ranger. And he's a little disappointed in himself. Everything that he was trying to do to look out for the crew in the last adventure, he just seemed to come up a little short on really flexing his assassin skills. And so he's just having a moment of self-reflection off to the side on the ship, of course covered in all of his 200 and some odd little, I don't know, insectoid children consoling him and trying to say, "It's okay, Pops. You'll do better next time."
Yeah, and they're just chittering around, and the party, if you're hearing this, you're hearing because they do speak telepathically, but they also speak through little chitter chatter clacks, and you're just hearing these little tiny clacks all over the place. Very cool. So let's jump over to Robyn. Tell us about your character, same thing, level, class, and what are you up to on the ship as it's taken off into the atmosphere?
I'm Robyn. I'm playing Placebo. Placebo is a 5th level monk that is a plasmoid, and she's really hurt right now. She took quite a beating in that battle, but I think she's a little disoriented seeing all this happen to her planet and doing the thing she knows how to do best. She's just trying to clean up the ship. So she's like moving around and absorbing, like, I don't know, probably the blood and just the mess that we made in fighting. So she's just trying to make everything okay. It'll be fine. We'll be all right. So that's what she's doing.
Yeah, and you have, for any cases wondering about how hurt, Placebo is basically one punch away from expiring. So she's looking pretty rough. But good, thank you for the introduction. So the other plasmoid, tell us, David, about your character and what you're up to.
Yep, Ichabod, 5th level bard, College of Eloquence. So he's kind of looking, just completely alarmed by the state of the planet as we are leaving orbit or in orbit, and kind of looks around, sees everyone kind of in bad shape, and he kind of palms the Pearl of Power to give himself a 3rd level spell slot, and kind of jumps into a motivational speech, trying to get everyone's spirits up. And even though he inside is obviously hurting by seeing the condition of his home world, starts trying to get everyone on board, happy that everyone escaped and that together we can get to the bottom of what's going on.
Very nice. Yeah, and you're right too. I was just looking at everyone's hit points, and you're actually doing pretty well. Everyone else apparently got wrecked last session. It looks pretty rough. I'm not even sure how
I avoided a lot, and that's why everyone else is probably lower. I kind of just squirmed around the battlefield avoiding blows.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, I felt like I was being too easy last session, but I guess no one dropped to 0, but there were several that got close, so it was nice dealing out equally. So that brings us to the last of our crew. Ryan, tell us a bit about your character.
Yeah, my character is Koraz, the Hive. He's a 5th level sorcerer. He's a Thrycreen. And yeah, I think he's probably staring down, kind of half listening to his compatriot give his stirring speech, kind of looking down at the planet. And I am convinced the Phlogiston Spectre has something to do with this.
Forgot about that. Actually, that's the big bad of the campaign. How could I forget? Elena, the captain, she's actually looking over as well at the same time. She completely ignores your comment with the Phlogiston Spectre, assuming that's some kind of religious commentary or like whatever, and she's just looking down at the planet as you're exiting the atmosphere. Just, it's a shame. Blast it. Did you know that pretty much my entire crew is on the planet right now, save good old Flapjack and myself? And she's talking to you, Koraz, just kind of not really caring that you're hearing her or like really interacting, just kind of ranting.
Yeah, I'm probably ranting as well. I'm back. This guy keeps ruining my plans, and now he's ruining my best friend's planet.
You know who's behind this?
It must be the Phlogiston Spectre.
Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
All right.
Or deception. I don't know. It's hard to like say. Like roll a persuasion and deception. Take the lowest. Would that make sense?
Okay.
Has anyone ever done that before? Like a hybrid skill check?
We can do it.
Let's do it. Roll me a persuasion and deception. We'll take the lowest. It's basically a charisma check with disadvantage.
Okay, persuasion.
What's up, woo man?
And then What was the other one? Performance? Deception.
Yeah. Mostly because I don't know. I'm not sure how this even like. Let's see what we get. Oh. What does it mean though? What does it mean? You're very persuasive, but you're not. You believe it, but Elena thinks you're maybe deceiving. I'm not sure what I've done right now.
I think it's in line with what we decided about the rest of the players. In that I, as Koraz, am convinced, but nobody else is.
She looks at you and like her eyes kind of go glassy as you go on and on with this Phlogiston Spectre. Like, okay, well. I hate to interrupt you, but we have some pressing business. Flapjack, take us in orbit. And you don't hear anything. The ship just kind of starts to like take an orbiting arc around the planet. And as you're exiting the atmosphere, you would experience a couple of things. One, of course, the ship itself forms its own bubble, which I think this is kind of from end of the last session. You're pulling through the atmosphere and you're pushing through these swirls of color into a starry night. You see fish, a school of fish. I think actually maybe they're called space fish because in Spelljammer there's a lot of things that are just space something. There's space guppies and space hamsters. So we'll just call them space fish. A school of space fish worm their way through the darkness of the void. And you see down in the planet every aspect of where you left, like the entire I guess like the terrain, the surrounding mountains, the lakes, the entire area sort of centered out from where you're at, just covering with these vines, and you can see it spreading across the planet in real time as you're looking down up from above as you're pulling out, and eventually it becomes too abstracted to totally see what's happening. But and put two and two together without a lot of effort, that these vines are spreading out and sucking heat and life out of people as it goes through the planet. Elena just kind of sighs. Well, we've got 2 points of order. Everybody listen up. And she kind of like motions. She jumps to the prow of the ship and she signals. We have to figure out.
Furthermore, sorry, yes. You go ahead.
It's like, there's 2 things we have to decide. One, what are we going to do with that lot? And she points at the thugs. And if you remember, there were something like 4 or 5 thugs that had survived the combat that stayed on the ship. That they had surrendered, but they were still hostile. And she points them out, says, you know, those thugs, Travis's men, do we take them on board? Do we imprison them? Do we eject them? What do we do with them? And then 2, we need to figure out where we're going. So I'm happy to take point 1 first.
Well, seeing as it's your ship, I would say whatever you are most comfortable with. You knew the late Travis. Maybe you know what kind of men and women he surrounded himself with, and you also know the limitations and capabilities of your vessel. Whether we will need their muscle, their manpower, so to speak.
That's a good point. Well, I'll tell you this. Maybe it'd help to show you around, and we can make a decision about their fate. And so she takes you to kind of give you a tour of the Moon Dancer. So we'll activate that. Let me know if you're able to see this map. I just activated it.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Can just make sure the lighting is all good. It's a little bit, yeah, there's more to it. Basically, the below decks are on the lower side of the map. Hopefully you don't see that. Not that it really matters, just trying to keep it kind of like visually coherent. But you're on top of the ship. This is the Moon Dancer. And I'll say too, I have a couple maps today from, I'm gonna mess up the name. I couldn't find the proper attribution, but I believe it was Barcraft maps or something like that. Barcraft maps maybe, but I'll look it up if we take a break and get it out there. But anyways, thank you for these maps. They were done in Dungeon Draft, but they're nice representations of the actual stuff from the book. But you are on board the Moon Dancer, and so Elena is going to say, well, I'll show you a couple things. One, and she points out the ballistae here. And she'll say, these 2 require 3 people apiece to fire in any sort of meaningful sense. And then she points at the far end of the ship, and she says, that's the mangonel. So this is going to be all the way at the other side. That takes a crew of 5. However, unfortunately for us, we had to run in with some pirates on the way in. And in fact, it's actually why I was on Mucopia. I was hoping to source some cheap lumber to replace the mangonel because it was destroyed. And our ship took some damage, and I lost a few members of my crew in the scuffle, only to end up in this predicament. But either way, our mangonel is not operational momentarily. But if we already get a replacement, or maybe if we're lucky we can find some salvage, we need 5 crew to properly man it. And then, of course, there's the typical duties. Flapjack will take the helm, but there are other things aboard the ship that we need help with, swabbing the deck, tending to the ship itself. So as you can see, me and Flapjack are the only remaining crew members, so we're a little short-staffed.
Hey, I've worked on ships before. I'm very good at swabbing the deck.
That's definitely one of the most pressing issues. Get her a broom. Get her a mop, I suppose. So 1 problem down.
Go ahead.
How many commoners or folk are aboard?
Yeah, so about 40. So there were 60 on the docks, but I think there's a certain point where you couldn't quite get everybody on by the time the friend spell had worn off. So, and I guess Elena would say that too, because, man, I don't know, maybe y'all would collectively know about 30 to 40 people came on the boat. This was all happening while you were like in the middle of all this stuff.
There may be able-bodied helpers amongst the refugees.
Well, and I don't know how you feel about child labor, but I got a whole crew here that could help out. We'll pitch in.
My feelings are they competent?
They're small. Very small.
I
But
think that answers my question. Well, I like your idea. Why don't we talk to the commoners, see if there's anyone who maybe could assist. Meanwhile, I will work with Flapjack to set a course. My suggestion is that we head to the Rock of Brawl. This backwater, unfortunately, is not necessarily located near anything useful, but the Rock of Brawl is only about a 2 days travel if we don't run into trouble. I have some concerns with the extra crew, I suppose, the commoners on board, rations, water, air, those are sorts of things that'll be, we'll have to be mindful of them, so I don't think we stretch it. Go to Rock of Brawl, and I'm willing to take you, dump these commoners and yourselves, and we'll call it even.
But what about Macopia?
She looks over the edge. She says, well, I'm no hero. I'm a salvager. I'm a shipper. I'm not going to be the person to help you solve this problem, but I will tell you, the Rock of Brawl is, well, it's sort of a hub of adventurers, villains, any sort of type of person. I'm sure you can find someone who give you some advice.
Well, we certainly appreciate the transport. We would be in dire straits without your aid, and I think you seem like a very compassionate person, and in our hour of need, you are here for us. So, you have my thanks.
Yeah, and you're welcome for giving you your ship back as well. Seemed like you wouldn't be escaping if it wasn't for us. Perhaps you should help Macopia, since Macopia helped you.
Ask not what Macopia can do for you. No, you make salient points, Koraz, and I appreciate your appeal, but I think we may be in this alone, but maybe we will become closer along the way, and maybe we can convince her to listen to that angel on her shoulder to give us a little bit more of her time and resources for the good of an entire world.
Angel's on her shoulder. Hey, Angel, where'd get back here?
Tina, she's going over the edge. Go grab her.
Come on.
She's just staring at everyone. Well, I guess you make a good point, but also Macopia is what killed my crew, and half of my goods are down there as well. So I feel like maybe the good deed I've done, taking on your crew and the commoners, is probably payment enough. But I suppose I'm willing to give some time for a cool head. Maybe when we get to Rock of Brawl, we can arrange something.
Yeah, how do we know your crew is dead? We've all got friends down there. We can get them back. We can save them.
Give me a persuasion check. Pretty good. But she looks and she ponders a bit and she says, well, crews are replaceable, but costly to do so. If you think you can find a clear path or an explanation for this problem, something actionable, something that we can actually do to stop this, I'll hear you out, but no promises.
Deal.
Very generous of you.
Koraz is gonna be like all excited and like kind of rush away in a tizzy and just mentally in his party's head, he's like, we're gonna get the Flogston ghost.
Nice. So Elena will show you around the ship, and I'll point out a couple things. I'm just going to reveal a bunch of stuff, but I'll kind of go and pay bits. So unfortunately, I never really have a good answer for how to show maps with boats. I'm gonna have to show the same boat in like multiple layers. It's easier to me than like swapping between maps, but we're gonna do this. So she'll show you around the top deck. So on the top deck, she'll open up these doors. Okay, so if you can use your imagination, this area down here, this is the top. This is all still the top deck, right? And it's just like the rooms have been exposed. Is everyone cool with that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So she'll show you around. You won't necessarily get like the full like MTV Cribs treatment, but she'll show you a couple important things. One, here's Flapjack. So Flapjack is residing in the in his chair. I think I said last session it was like up this area, but really it's actually below deck a little bit, or not below deck. It's on the top deck, but like below the surface. But he's he's piloting the ship from this chair. She'll point out a couple common rooms that are in this top area. Everything on this like right side is the captain's space, basically. So this is all her stuff, and so she won't necessarily let you into those rooms, but she'll indicate that's like her cabin and her office. She will also show you below deck. So below deck, this is the first, like the upper cargo deck area. And the ship's gonna get like destroyed in like 10 minutes. None of this will matter. And then a rock explodes the ship. Depends on what you do. Anyways, so this is the upper cargo area. And this is where the crew traditionally would sleep. But also it is where there are about 40 mules, like donkeys that are sitting around that were being transported originally to be beasts of burdens in Macopia. And they're just like standing around with and there's like crates with their food and everything like that. But that's all in that area. And then deep below deck, and none of this is secret, so she's just kind of like explaining to you or showing you around. This is where all the commoners have filtered into. So the 40 commoners that are alive, they're down here in this lower deck area. In this lower deck, there's also all of the goods, or most of the goods that Travis was trying to bring in. It's all these crates full of food and water, but also there's about I can't remember the exact number, but there's I'll look it up in a minute, but there's crates and crates of mundane weapons. So swords, great swords, bows. He was trying to offload a bunch of weapons as a part of his escape. And so, but that's where the commoners are all kind of all bunched together.
Under the donkeys.
Under the donkeys.
Yeah, I like how there's that little pen there that maybe the mules would be in, but no, the commoners are down. We're gonna put them in the fence.
Don't go underneath. Don't stand here. This is the no-go zone. This is a no-go zone. Make sure you're not there. Hey, listen. When you say, "Look, it's not a pleasure cruise." I'm sorry. The donkeys are already loaded. There's straw.
Yeah. I don't understand everything, so I'm sure there's a reason for it.
And so you're free reign of the ship. I will say, I may press you into some duty, but at least for now, I think you can take some rest.
That would be very agreeable. Thank you.
So why don't you do what you plan to do, and she kind of meet me up deck, or maybe in my office. Is this area like that? I'm going to be bouncing all over the place. Let me draw a little thing to it. Meet me in my office in about 2 hours. We can discuss plans.
Can I ask, have you ever seen anything like what happened to my planet in your travels?
No, I haven't. But there are rumors of many bizarre, great catastrophes out in the astral sea. Nothing specific as vines, but it's
it may
possible.
have started with a seed that landed in somebody's house. Or
A
was
space seed.
Was it a shop? I don't remember.
I think it was a house slash shop.
The blacksmith said a neighbor of his or someone down the streets from when we were speaking. Oh, I wonder if he made it onto the ship. I lost track of him.
Oh, you should look and see. Maybe he could tell us more.
I think maybe after a little rest, that might be a worthwhile endeavor.
Did the blacksmith make it on the ship?
I don't think he did.
I don't remember like his
really,
token.
he was really drunk, so he may not have.
He probably ran
Well, we
the
can't-
opposite direction or
We
something.
can't roll a die for it.
Yeah, I'll roll a D100. If it's a 90 or higher, the blacksmith made it on the ship.
All right.
Come on, blacksmith.
Oh,
Oh, 67.
He still survived. He could have still somehow evaded and gotten to a different part of the region.
Yeah, that's yes. Keep saying
Hold on
that.
to that hope, brother.
We'll find out in the last session who all survived.
Yeah, Placebo, I think, would want to start with just a rest.
Yeah.
I want to sit here with my staff for a bit. I'm feeling very run down.
Yes. Well, I hope my rousing oration at least made you feel 5 hit points better temporarily.
I did feel that burst of energy. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, so that's a good. So you were doing. You were using one of your feats or one of your abilities.
3rd level spell, motivational speech.
Motivational speech.
I
Oh, I
dropped
see it in there.
Yeah. Everyone
Okay.
gets 5 temporary hit points, advantage on wisdom saving throws, but I'm sure that part probably wears off.
Yeah, I think it takes out. I think it's out after an hour.
Oh yeah, it's just like 1 hour. So we might as well roll some hit dice, folks.
Yeah. So yeah, so you can take a short rest. If you're new to that on Foundry or you've forgotten, you can click on your character sheet and there's a little short rest button under your hit die. And you can spin. It's sort of weird how it does it. You press the button and you like say how many dice you want to roll. But you can roll. I mean, you all have 5 hit die, so your choice on what you would do with that. But you can roll as many as you want. Just keep in mind you only get half of them back out of long rest. Yeah, so you can take a short rest and basically, you know, I'm imagining that you're just literally resting wherever you want to be at in the ship. And I know I have the ship up here, and I say this, it doesn't. We don't have to play Legos and like move characters around the ship or anything. And like as you're doing stuff, I may just call out, "Hey, the thugs have decided to mutiny. Where are you all? We're gonna have a fight or something." Just put yourself where you would be in the ship. But basically, wherever you feel is comfortable to rest, you get a little rest, and you'll feel the Spelljammer ship start to pick up and accelerate as the Spelljammer Flapjack kicks it into overdrive, and you're just you're going ludicrous speed or whatever, just flying. It's like 100 million miles an hour, whatever the heck it is in the resource. And you're headed basically to the end of this wild space system. And just a reminder from our session 0, and in case you just need to hear it again, what's going to happen is you're going to enter the astral sea, and you'll traverse the astral sea for just a little bit, as Elena had suggested, probably not even a half a day in the astral sea, just to get to the next wild space system, which is where the Rocket Brawl is at. And the Rocket Brawl, I don't think I described this very much, but it's basically an asteroid that has like this massive city that's dwelling on it. It's kind of a hub of a bunch of different places and a bunch of different like aspects in the wild space and astral sea world. It's basically like a nexus. It's kind of like Mos Eisley, Katina, but like more like Sharn from Eberron, or like New York City or something. Like it's like a big huge city that people hang out in. I'm trying to think of a better analogy. It's not really like New York City, but it's it's a cool, very developed location where you can find just about anything you want, both good and bad. All right, so everyone's short rested up. How you want to be? Okay. You've got a little bit of time to kick around before Elena wants to meet up. A couple things you could do is address the thugs. Right now, they're just hanging around. They're not restrained or anything. They're not acting hostile. Elena would have mentioned to you that Flapjack is actually pretty friendly flump. He speaks telepathically, so you can only talk to one person at a time, but he's a spelljammer. Once we get going, he's more than happy to answer any questions you have about spelljamming or like just what we're doing. If you're like a spellcaster and curious about how it all works and everything, he's available to talk to. You can go down to see the donkeys, see if Odie is in there, if he's made it on board. And you can also go see the civilians. So there's plenty of stuff to do, but also you can just kill time.
What was the name of that plasmoid who sneaked aboard with us? Like, kind of just oozed his way aboard. Do you remember what his name was?
Did he have a name?
Well, we gave him one, I think.
He was your twin, right?
Yeah, well, we looked awfully similar. Yeah. I couldn't I amazingly did not record what we named him in my notes.
Yeah. I know that he was shabbily dressed. And like his opposite of you. You have like your nice top hat and cane, and he was like dressed in rags.
I'll keep an eye out for him, but I do think Ichabod would probably want to try to have some rapport with the remaining crew members, the thugs from Travius's crew, just to get a sense of, you know, their intentions, but also to maybe try to, you know, impress upon them how, you know, important it is for like new beginnings and we're all in this together sort of, you know, speech.
Yeah. Cool. And I'll just pause for just a second before we resolve that. Thanks everyone for all the subs and the comments and everything. I appreciate y'all cheering along, and yeah, our session is going well. Thank you for chatting about that. So you're coming to the thugs. You're making a sort of an impassioned speech. I think it's a check. So the thugs are standoffish, right? So give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
They're not hostile outright, but you know, they're holding on to their cudgels, grouped up together. Almost a 1. It wanted to. It teetered. It teetered on the edge. I wonder if how accurate that is. If it really truly was teetering, or just like it's coded to look like it's teetering. Anyways, so you go up, and all 5 of the thugs, they're listening to you, and they're begrudgingly listening initially, but you're just so eloquent. You're pouring out these persuasive statements and maybe like oozing a little bit and kind of like doing some sign language, like what is it, that nonverbal communication.
Yeah.
And the thug that's sort of directly next to you, he's like, well, me mates and I, we were saying kind of the same thing, that we got nowhere else to go, so we might as well chip in. I mean, but I ain't taking no orders from the captain. And I don't like her. I don't like the way she looks. She's giving us that dirty eye.
Well, I do think animosity will, you know, it's a natural consequence of combat, so it probably will take a little bit of time, you know, and perhaps staying out of one another's way is a good short-term measure, at least until we get to the Rock of Brawl. But and during all this, I think Ichabod would kind of ask their names. You don't have to come up with 5 NPC names, but he would definitely he'd introduce himself and want to kind of force them to have a little bit of a connection with him, so it's not just, yeah, let's kill that ooze guy, but he, you know, I know his name and he knows ours.
Cool. I generated 5 NPC names. Their names are Tact, Amara, Aaron, Baldric, and Donald. That's the names, and you have to remember that, not me.
You say the first one was Tact?
Tact. Yeah. Thank you, Cobalt Press.
He is he likes Tact the best. He thinks that's an awesome name because it's also a virtue in his opinion. So he's kind of addressing most of his conversation to Tact.
Yeah, Tact is the one that was like kind of like giving you like, he's sort of opening up to you a little bit. He's like, well, my name's Tact. They call me that because I'm the smart one in the group. That's why. Also, that's what my mom named me. But
it's a very blessed name. I think you are blessed to have it.
Oh, thank you. So, listen, we don't want to cause no trouble for anyone. We get it. Travis is dead. our contract's over. We just want to get out of the way.
Yes, I think that is a very understandable course of action, and we're all making the best of a bad situation here.
So you mind if we just post up?
Can you elaborate on what that means? I am new to traveling the stars, and I don't believe we have that expression on Mukopia.
Just find a place to roost for a couple days.
On the rock or here on the ship?
On the ship.
Oh, I guess I wasn't listening close enough to know how long we would be traveling together, but I think that might be smart. But I also think if you guys have experience with combat, we may depend on you if we need some of these weapons run, and it's definitely in everyone's best interest to keep this vessel afloat, so to speak.
Give me another persuasion check.
All right.
Also realize there's cannons on this ship. I don't think there's supposed to be cannons.
Decorative
cool, though.
cannons.
Yeah, and what did the guy say about the captain? He said he didn't like her look, the way she looked.
Yeah, the way she was looking at him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like she was giving him a dirty look.
Yeah. Yeah, at first it was like, uh-oh, like, is there some racial animosity?
Oh, no,
gender
my
animosity?
God.
Oh no, I was just thinking Ichabod has a very nice hat, so his look is very good.
It was like a clown. No, she was giving him the stink eye. He didn't like that. Yeah, so they'll say, well, Donald over here and whatever the other guys' names were, they know how to operate a Ballista, or Ballista. I guess we could help with that.
We'd be much obliged, but hopefully it'll be smooth sailing to this Rock of Brawl. Have you been?
Oh yeah, Rock of Brawl. Everyone who's ever who's worth their salt has sailed through the Rock of Brawl.
Well, in that case, my sister might be more familiar with it than I am. I haven't sojourned very often or far from Mukopia, so. But I think it is good to make connections, and if we need your help finding someone, who can help us with this catastrophe, maybe we can travel together on the rock for a while too.
We'll see.
Yes, we shall.
So what they're gonna do is they will move downstairs, and they're just gonna kind of go to the common room, and they're gonna start playing like poker and stuff, and they're like twice as big as the table. They're like, we can't fit. This is made for ants. Anyways, yeah, so that's that. So what about the rest of you? So what's everyone else up to for this little hour period post short rest?
Is there a kitchen on board?
Oh yeah, there's a kitchen. So it's sort of like down here. It looks like there's a kitchen, like this. Like I guess it's like down. Why do I keep saying down? This is gonna mess me up forever. It's like going in that first door there. Yeah, there's a kitchen area there.
I think Zephistopholes would be checking that out and seeing if there's food on board. Want to whip some food together, not just for himself and the kids, but maybe try to feed some of the crew and such.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you can walk in the kitchen and it's a. I don't know what are your standards, Seth? Are you like you have like high standards for a kitchen?
Yes, he would have very high standards. He is a trained chef. And so, if it looks like it is dirty, he'd probably make that his top priority would be to whip it into shape.
Yeah, and so I'll say that it's not filthy. You've seen worse, maybe, especially if you've been like working the dive bar circuit, like or not dive bars, like little like hole in the wall restaurants. You've seen some nasty stuff in your day. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's a couple things. One, there's not a lot to work with. There's a couple knives. All the knives are a little dull, to the point where maybe a little dangerous to cut finely with. There's not a lot in the way of seasoning. There's really just basically salt and pepper, which is nice to see, but there's nothing like more advanced than that. And there is a stovetop, and you can use that. It seems functional, but that's about it. There's not really else going on in the kitchen, and it is a little dirty.
What
These
about
was sprucing up?
what about for provisions? Is there food on board, or
Yeah, so there's some like in the kitchen. There's a little like crate of some things. Like there's some salted pork. There's some veggies. Some potatoes. Like there's some little basic edible stuff. Like I don't know what everyone, all the different species eat, but there's like some like stock food items. I'm like describing like Hobbit food. I've been watching The Lord of the Rings. There's some lambda spread or whatever. But anyways, but there's some basic stuff there, and you would also know that there are provisions on board. Like that was part of what Travis was doing was securing some provisions, but also just some basic provisions. So really, any kind of like something you would imagine a thug and or a pirate would have, they'll be on board.
well, I'm gonna get the kids involved to help clean this place up and start scrubbing their little claws and whatnot. They're just gonna start scrape away at all the grime and whatnot. And for the next hour, Zeph is going to spend some time cooking up some food. So I'm going to use my chef feat to cook up a number of treats equal to my proficiency bonus. So I think it's 3 right now. So I'll use that trait to do that, and then spend extra time just in general preparing food for consumption.
Cool. Yeah, so you'll do that, no problem. Whatever you can, like, you can be creative with how you make it. If it's like you eat maggots, or I don't know what Thrycreen eat, but if you have some like weird food item, you probably could.
It's gonna be kind of like, I don't know, like if you ever seen like Korean barbecue, where like all the like meat and stuff is like put in a lettuce leaf. It's gonna be like that, like little pockets of that, like meat, some veggies and whatnot, all wrapped up in like a lettuce leaf.
Dang, that sounds good. I kind of want that.
When Zephistopholes says he's gonna cook up some grub, it's literal grub, right?
Man, that sounds delicious. Not grubs, but okay, cool. So let's how about oh my god, I'm gonna keep calling you bubblegum. How about placebo?
Okay, it is like nickname that some call me. So Placebo would like to try to speak to Flapjack at some point. She has traveled before on ships and knows a little bit about navigation. Not because she studied it, she just has a very strong innate sense of direction. So she finds this creature fascinating and is just going to spend some time with him.
Yeah, sure. So you open up the door, and what you see is a flump wearing a bicorn hat with a big jaunty feather. The hat is bouncing precariously on his head, and as he's sitting in his Spelljammer helm. And the Spelljammer helm itself is basically a legless chair that's kind of like bobbing up and down in the air. And he's, attuned to it. He's sort of resting in it and, kind of in the zone. But when you open the door, you step in, his little eye stalks like look at you, and you hear this voice in your head, and it's like, hello, I'm Flapjack.
Who
are you?
Placebo. Some call me Bubblegum, but my real name is Placebo. So whatever you please.
Bubblegum? Oh, on account of you being pink?
Maybe that is why it happened. Yes, I guess that makes sense. Yes.
Well, welcome aboard. I'm Flapjack, and I'm the Spelljammer.
I am very pleased to meet you. I have traveled on some fishing ships before. I have done many jobs. One of which I have cleaned by swabbing the deck. I sometimes scrape barnacles off of ships. But I am also very good at navigating. I have not had very much chance to do that. I can't imagine why people wouldn't trust me with that task. But who is your navigator?
Oh, well, I'm kind of the navigator by default. Uh,
Oh, you are very talented then.
well, you see, this is all happening psychically. I'm a flump, and so I have sort of a special attunement to my chair. I can sort of extend my psychic thoughts. I can kind of probe, can feel things as they're before they quite get to us.
Oh, that is a very useful strategy to navigate. I do not have that ability.
Oh, well, are you a spellcaster?
No. No, I tend to hit things to make them stop.
Oh, I see. Well, it's hard to use a Spelljammer helm without spells. Kinda in the name.
Yes, I do not have the ability to be a spell jammer, but I know direction very well, and I wanted to see how you navigated through the stars. So
Oh,
I came to visit.
well, it's nice to talk to you. I know when it comes to talk to Flapjack, I think people think I might seem a bit unusual. That's why I try to fit in with this hat.
Oh, I do the same. I wear this mask so then everyone can see the big smile on my face, because otherwise I wouldn't have a face.
He looks at your smile. He's like, I see. I just thought it stuck to you.
No, it moves sometimes. I tried to keep it up by where my head would be. And I'll, try to, like when I was at 4 hit points, it was like all wonky, but now it's mostly
That's right. Yeah, you're not...
off.
So, what's a canonical opinion on a wounded ooze? Is it like ooze is it all like clumpy, or is it more like the ooze is all like it's hard to take shape? Like, what does it look like when you're wounded? I'm gonna let you decide right now what the rule is.
I was kind of feeling it would be harder to keep the shape, or that it would somewhat almost shrink in size a little bit. Not in any it looks like it's just kind of like fringing inward or something. I don't know.
Okay, cool. I'll note that for the future whenever I bring some plasmoids on. So let me pop over to Koraz for a minute. Koraz, oh, I thought I saw you doing down deck stuff. What are you up to? Where are you?
Koraz is the king of the world.
Koraz.
I am enjoying flying through space.
Yeah, so you're up on the prow of the ship, and it's like hyperspace from Star Wars. You're just shooting through the space, and
yeah, Koraz. So Koraz probably would have really enjoyed this conversation with Flump, because now he's like probably obsessed with like trying to figure out how to actually fly one of these things. But I don't. He's too consumed with zoning out on ludicrous speed to even think about going down to find out how it's actually done, because he's like fantasizing in his mind that he's doing it right now.
Yeah, and it's an incredible experience, and you can also sort of like almost smell the astral sea, and you're just like you're coming home. You can just feel it. It's amazing. So you're shooting through the sky, tripping out, and that's gonna bring us back to Flapjack. And Flapjack's gonna be talking to Placebo, and you say, "Well, Placebo, see the thing is, about space. And the ship slowly like catches and slows down tremendously. Koraz, you're on the prow. You don't necessarily get like thrown off. It's like there's no physics attached to this, but you have like a seasick sort of jarring moment as all the stars are like shooting past you, just kind of, and suddenly you're going about 4 miles an hour. Flapjack says, "We've got company. Get the captain."
Hey, and I mean, I'll ooze over to her office. Captain.
And as you're oozing over, you and Koraz are going to see a ship. and I'm gonna share this. I think it's gonna be monstrously giant. I apologize. Oops, that's the wrong thing. There it is. I've got to figure out how to like size these well because they look fine on my screen, but I realize I forgot from last time that they're like mega big for y'all because of the resolution. Boom. Hopefully you can close. Can you close it?
They look friendly. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's the
And so-
Reddit ship.
Yeah, it's like the giant version of the treat that Zeph is making, cooking up. It's manifested.
Oh, we just ordered in. Okay, I'm good.
So you see this large ship heading towards you. Its wings, they do look a little lettucey on this art piece, but they are more reminiscent of like an insect's wings as they're slowly flapping. And it occurs to you that it looks almost like a gigantic moth. It also, well, let's see. What's everyone's passive insight? We were just talking about the other day. Passive insight. You've got a passive insight of 15, Placebo. How about you?
I got 16.
14. Oh, you're not on the deck yet, so just
No,
Placebo and a.
Mine is 0. I'm way down.
Here's a 0. So I would say that Placebo, you would definitely recognize the coloring of the ship is very reminiscent of the vines. So there's like a shimmering, luminescent aspect to the wings, and they remind you of like what the big vine looked like, and even a little bit what the littler vine creatures look like.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh no. Captain, hurry! It looks like a vine ship.
And anyone who wants to be on deck can be on deck.
How far away is it?
Yeah, good question. It's about 500 feet away,
500.
you would estimate. And it's heading your direction. And just to explain too, because I mentioned this briefly in our session 0. When a Spelljammer ship gets within a certain radius of an object, it automatically stops.
Right.
It won't like through it. So you can't like hyperspeed away from something if it's close to you.
Is that why like Flapjack was like, uh-oh, and it kind of...
Yeah, Flapjack was picking up on it, was what was going on there.
And then also this ship appears, from the picture, it looks like it's the type of ship that has folks on the inside, but not necessarily on the top of it. Or can we tell, is it much like our ship where there are folks on the top level?
That's a good question. It does look like it has some enclosed areas, but possibly some exposed. It's hard to. Well, I'll tell you what. It's hard to tell. Not far away. Is what I'll say. It definitely looks like the part you're seeing, the prow, looks like it might be closed in somehow, to some degree. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything else on the. Yeah, no, there is a deck. Yeah, you can see a deck. I take it back. You could just barely make out the deck. So if you look at the picture, like the prow,
Yep.
you see how it's kind of like flat in the center. There is a little deck area there,
Okay.
and you can see some figures rushing about, like making hurried actions, like they're readying things.
Yeah, I think Koraz is going to ready Eldritch Blast. And he's got the spell sniper thing, so if he feels threatened once they come within 240 feet, he's just going to let it rip.
So the captain will step out on the deck and she'll just say, what's going on? What? Placebo? Oh.
There's a ship approaching. How can you signal it, or do you know its intent?
Those are astral elves. That's not good for us. That's a star moth. Faster than us, too. We could see if they want to parley, but knowing what I know, if they think we've done something or offended them in some way, they will destroy us.
Without a warning?
We could see. They tend to not look too kindly on us salvagers and pirates, especially if we're interfering.
But what if we're just refugees?
That is what we are. We are escaping our planet that was damaged. do not see how that could be offensive.
We are not the salvagers you are looking for.
Hey, do we still got the body there of that pirate? We could maybe throw that up and say, "Hey, look, we got one of them."
Travis, yeah, what did y'all do with the body?
Can we throw them overboard or something?
You threw one guy overboard for sure. I don't know if you threw the dead guy overboard.
Not Donald. He's the one that bit me.
Don't hurt Donald. He can use a ballista.
Don't think we specified anything with his body, honestly.
Yeah,
It
I think
might
it's probably still up on the top deck.
Let's say it's like covered in a tarp someplace, just so there's some resolution. Like it's not like on the. It'd probably be like down in the where the donkeys are.
That would make sense. When I was cleaning up, I took him downstairs and covered him and told the donkey to leave it alone. Don't eat it.
And they will too.
Yeah, lucky it's not pigs. They would rip it apart.
A flag or something we might fly to let them know that we are in distress, that we are not a threat to them.
It wouldn't hurt to try. We can give it a shot.
Hey, how fast can you get away from that ship in a minute? Because Ichabod there, he's got a good spell that could maybe buy you a minute.
Yes, it tends to go poorly after those 60 seconds, because even though everything I say is the truth, they feel somehow cheated out of making their own decision.
Ichabod has always had difficulty making and keeping friends.
It is true.
Well, either way, we can't outrun it. So I say we turn and face them. We can throw up colors to say that we're in distress and see how they react.
We are.
That's right.
We're not lying.
Okay.
Honesty is the best policy, and most of the time.
Let's try it. And so she's going to motion to whoever are any of you able to hoist colors and banners and stuff like that?
Like as far as like I think. Yeah,
I was a scribe, so no.
I mean, I have the wild spacer background, but
yeah, I'd say you know how. You could hoist some colors. Okay. So you're gonna, she'll hand you this. She'll run into her office and she'll come out with like a flag that's just like a white flag, basically, of surrender.
Okay.
Maybe we fly this and we head directly towards them. They won't cause problems, and if they do, we'll fly straight down their throats.
I will say that maybe flying toward them could be seen as an act of aggression. If we just continue on our course and kind of show them the colors that we are, in need of help, they can decide to come to us or they can continue on their way, and we won't force a confrontation.
Okay. Well, you know what? Give me a persuasion check. She's the captain, so she has to be persuaded to change. Persuasion check. Look at that. Y'all are persuasive. This is actually going to be helpful to you to have all these faces.
It's one of my only uses. I'm persuasive.
It's funny how our faces actually have no faces.
No faces.
That's right. No face. So she'll say, all right, it's worth a try. Let's give it a shot. Flapjack, maintain course towards the edge of wild space. Flapjack just sort of communicates telepathically. Placebo, she hands you the flag. You hoist it up. You do it really well. We don't need to do a roll because it's your background. So you bring it up. Flag goes up. And the ship, the Star Moth, continues to pursue. And this is sort of a funny situation because the Star Moth is got it's 15 feet a second faster or something like that. So it's it's going to close, but it's going to take some time. And so you wait with a bated breath to see how they react.
Should we be on the top deck? What is the customary, protocol for vessels encountering one another, Captain?
So I think we should be on the top. If they send someone over to parley with us, then we can show them that we're not running anything illegal or in any way opposing. I think it'd be good for us to meet them.
This may seem like a foolish question, but you're absolutely sure we're not carrying anything illegal, right? That makes it a question.
She thinks the first second, she's like, well, Travis loaded some things.
That is my concern.
But I mean, probably not. They probably don't have any. I mean, surely it's just goonery and like weaponry and food.
Zeph, are you good at identifying illegal things? Would you and your children be able to look and make sure nothing down there is going to get us in trouble?
Oh, I'd be willing to take a look.
Yeah, go down there and take a look.
Good
And
thinking.
The rest of us can be ready to parlay.
Okay. So Zeph, you're gonna be down in the most bottom deck where all these like civilians are like, what's happening? Why are we stopping? And they're just sort of like asking you questions, trying to get you, like grabbing on you.
Hey, hands off there. Everything's gonna be fine. We got the crack team is in negotiations with I think some astral elves or something. I was only half paying attention.
Like it was like a hush of like.
Is that bad? Is it really that bad?
Like astral elves. I've heard rumors that they killed every ship on sight, and then there's like having all these. They're just panicking now.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry there. I thought I was saying something. Astral elves don't sound that scary to me, so I thought I was letting you down easy. Well, since you all panicked anyway, if you look around, can you help me find some illegal stuff?
All right, give me an investigation. First of all, give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. So disadvantage persuasion, as the people are like panicking, and then like you're like beseeching them to help at the same time.
It's like a total dad move. Like, no one's gonna pick of that big zit on your forehead. Wait, what? What?
So they completely ignore you, so you don't get advantage of your investigation check. But they're not like gonna. Well, I don't know. A 7's pretty low. I think disadvantage for your investigation check. Yeah.
Harsh.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, that's so horrible.
Y'all,
Wow.
if you don't want to get eaten by the elves or whatever it was, then just calm down.
They're like carrying you through, like you're getting pushed like towards the stairway. And about that point, you feel a. Well, I'll roll an attack. Okay, so you, anyone on top deck, you see a large boulder just sail just overhead the ship. They fired the mangonel at you.
They missed us. That's a good sign, or was it an accidental miss? What do we think?
Elena, she's looking. She's like, I don't know, but if they're firing on us, we need to close the distance. We can't fire back. Our mangonel's out of order.
Yes, I think that if that is an act of aggression, we should try to put as much distance as we can. That could have just been a warning to stay away from them.
We have been driving away, right? And they're
They are
following
faster
us.
than us.
So we have to approach, is what she's suggesting.
Yeah, because they're basically, and while you're sort of like, maybe you even asked that question, it's like, well, you see, they're going to gain on us, but slowly, and we'll be in mangonel range the entire, and one of the boulders crashes into the side of the ship,
No.
and just
maybe
a bit of
we
foil
need-
goes flying off.
Donald and the others?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Ichabod would run and try to go back, connect with his new friends and say, the ship is under attack, as we feared it could happen. Might we have your help with the cannons and the ballista? Baldric and Donald?
Was Baldric one of the names?
You said Donald and someone. Yeah, Baldric was one of the names. So.
I already closed that tab. Damn it. Sure. Baldric, Tack, Donald, and Amara. I think.
Aaron, Tact.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron
Okay.
is there too.
Yeah. So the what'll happen is you had some really good rolls. They're all gonna they're gonna be like, all right, but we better get paid for this when we get back to the Rockaborough. We don't work for free.
I'm sure mutually advantageous terms will be reached, provided we survive this conflict.
Just remember, it's Eliana's ship.
We can touch on those finer points later, Koraz. The fine print, as it were, is less important with these bold headlines approaching.
And so Elaine is gonna say, Flapjack, turn course. We close on them. We get outside of the Mangonel range, and then our ballista will come into play. I think we can fight them off, at least wound them and scare them away. And so the ship turns around, and Flapjack, very at 4 miles an hour, starts to approach the other ship. It's not very exciting speeds. It's like just sort of like move like mopeds, just like. And anyway, so the ships, they turn and you face the Star Moth. You see it looming in the distance, and you can see again that activity of crew members on the ship operating the Mangonel. And depending on your eyesight, because I think Koraz, maybe you have that spell sniper feat. You probably, I would argue, you probably could see really well as related to that, at least as far as you can shoot. So you're not quite in shooting range for your spell, but you can see that there are a couple people, like there's like an entire crew working the Mangonel from the top of the ship. And another strike fires. And it misses again. This time it goes to this, I'm not going to even try starboard and port. Goes to the left. It just fires off into this outer space. And Elena says, I think we maybe have another minute before we close. Get ready.
Why are they so angry with you? I will serve as the third person on that other ballista.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. The way that's going to work, I talked about this before, and obviously Robyn remembered well. This ballista takes 3 action to fire. Mangonel takes 5 actions to fire. And so those actions can be all done from the same person, obviously, but they I'm trying to find the stat block. I can't find it. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Anyways, the way that works is you could take the actions in a row. So like Thug 1 can load it, Thug 2 can load it or aim it, and Thug 3 can fire it in any order. I'm not going to be like really strict about like tracking that totally. Well, I guess might as well. Whatever the hell. We'll see how it goes. If it's painful, then I'll drop it. But yeah, so
DM, did Captain Elena mention anything about, like, we know the Mangonel is inoperable, we know the ballistae are operable. What about the cannons? Do they exist, or
cannons.
Or
They're just for show.
Well, I mean, are they just part of the map because that's the map, or
I think they're just part of the map because the map. Like I was trying to figure that out because I was like, it's a pretty faithful map. But then I pulled up, but then I was like, they don't have you have 2 ballistae and a Mangonel, so there's no listing of cannons.
I love the idea that they're just like decorative, like just to scare off other ships. Like, look at, we got so many cannons.
I think that's canon now. Heyo.
You're on the ball.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, and it looks like we even have like boxes or crates of cannonballs sitting there next to inoperable cannons, so it's very realistic.
That's right. I know. Like this is a really great map from Barcraft Maps or whatever it was.
Thanks, Barker.
We'll just have to upgrade her ship to have cannons, and then it'll be.
Yeah, then it'll be kosher. It'll be legal. I just put like a little thing over it so you can't see them anymore. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, so it's gonna basically take a minute. So the idea is you can do whatever you want to do for the next minute, and the ship is gonna fire on you. The Mangonel is gonna fire on you. Let's see here. It's every 6 seconds, right? Is that how it works? Every round is 6 seconds, so 10 more times.
Wow.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't break. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it broke. I think it just took like every other click. Oh no, here we go. Here we go. Your ship has an AC of 15.
There's a couple hits in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Quite a
Yeah,
few.
so
Quite
let's
a
see. How let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits, is that right?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I got.
I need a calculator. I'm not gonna roll the dice, I'm just gonna take the average.
Oh, I think
Well, I don't know. What the heck? Wouldn't it be fun to do the real numbers? I mean, it's just
15 is the AC. I got 7.
oh 7. Okay, cool. Thanks.
I don't mean to,
Don't mean to.
I got 5. Sorry.
5. Okay. Well, in that case, you all get an extra magic.
I don't know.
item.
I counted it as 6.
I think you might be looking at an earlier one
Yeah, I
Oh,
think so.
maybe.
that did hit.
I think you're right.
I don't know if
Okay.
you already took the damage from that one, Winston, or not.
So 6. So we're gonna do 30 d10.
That all.
And we all die.
I don't think you can die, but
We become the captives, laborers of astral elves.
Have to ride donkeys through space. And
Space donkeys.
Yeah,
you
space
get a little extra
donkeys. They,
Oxygen if you do that.
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
they create air envelopes for a minute, right?
Yeah, just like slit their throat so they don't use that oxygen. And then,
Donkey
like,
gas.
Aw.
yeah, people do it anyways. You take 141 points of damage to your ship. So I know this is like there's very minimal rules about ship combat in the book. This is basically it right here. So we're doing it. But you have 400 hit points on your ship, and so you'll take 141 points of damage. And so you can kind of abstract that as.
Uh-oh.
The suspense.
What should we abstract it as?
I don't know.
Free the mules. Free the donkeys.
Did he say how many hit points the ship has?
I think he said
400.
400. Yeah, so we're...
I froze.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome back.
Rocks fall on you and you die.
No.
Well, rocks almost fall on you and you die. You take 141 points of damage. There's a third of your health. So, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. That was wacky. Okay. Anyways, so the ship is busted up. You lost the mast. You lost like just wood, just like shattering everywhere. You're all fine because it's the ship is taking the damage. But the Star Moth is trying to destroy you. But after about a minute of managing through that, you come into ballista range. And
What is that range?
actually, I could do a little bit of extra math on this because the range of the ballista is 120 without disadvantage. So you could tell me if y'all want to shoot with disadvantage, you could get a couple shots off before
Yeah.
closing.
I think we would. As soon as it's reasonable, we would start firing back. At
Okay.
least Donald and Tact and I would.
Okay.
And as soon as it's 240 within close to us, I'm gonna start firing off some Eldritch Blasts at whatever I see moving around on the deck too.
Cool. Yeah, perfect. So you can let's do that. So let's run through that. So Robyn, since you're kind of helping with the ballista, do me a favor. And what this is going to be a +6. Give me a d20 +6. I should probably make a macro for this, actually. You know what? I'm just going to do that real quick.
Oh,
It's a crit.
look what I rolled.
Woo!
That doesn't
Nice.
count.
Oh,
All right.
come on.
And Ichabod's like, yes, she is the space-faring warrior I always believed she was.
All right, roll me 6d10.
6d10. Okay.
6d10. So your arrow shoots off, your ballista shoots off excellently. And that'll do 34 points to the Star Moth. So it punctures into the side of the ship. Our little guys, they're going to shoot their arrows and they will, let's see if they hit. I think they hit. Yeah, sorry. They do hit. So Star Moth gets hit by the ship, and I'll roll out a couple I'll just do it a couple more rolls. Boom, boom, boom. You could get like 5 off. The Starman's only AC of 13, so that will hit 4 times, and so I'll do the damage for that. And this time I have to roll this specifically separate because they may not actually hurt the ship depending on how much damage they do. All right, the first one is 18, then 22, then 18, and then 19. All of those do damage. And this is where I wish I had a fucking token for the ships. I don't know why I didn't think that would be important. I was like, it'll be all right. But then you figured out how to use the ballista. That 11 does not do any damage. That last one. And then Koraz, give me a shot at the guys on deck.
Right, yeah. First Eldritch Blast. 18.
That will hit. Well, is there any particular type of person you're shooting at? Are you shooting at the Mangonel controllers? Anyone standing on the deck?
I would say now. Did she? Do we know? Are we in the range of the Mangonel? Can they fire it at close range? Do we know that, or?
They can't fire at close range within 60 feet. But I'm gonna this is all sort of like happening in a big mushy mush ball because I wasn't thinking about it. So it's, you shoot your beam off.
So I want to say if there appears to be someone shouting orders is who I'm firing at. If there's seems to be somebody who's not doing anything that's pointing about, that is who I am firing at.
Okay.
Is there someone like that?
There absolutely is. You would see that person, and I'm just checking their AC because I don't have them on this map, but it's a hit.
Okay, so here's the first Eldritch Blast.
I'm just gonna drag someone on the map just so there's a guy in the map to take points off from.
And then I'll fire the second Eldritch Blast at the same guy.
That's 9?
Yep, that's 9.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice, it hits.
Alright, and here's the second damage. Cool, 8. Take that, astral elves.
When you said the first syllable of that, I thought it was not going to end up astral.
I'm definitely, astral elves.
All right, Koraz, since your range is so far, 240, I would say you're probably going to get 3 more shots off.
Okay.
So
and I'll take them.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So,
but the guy that was shouting is now taking cover.
okay. So then I will fire at probably the ballista, somebody on the ballistas that are firing at us then.
Gotcha. Oh no. Okay. That's a hit.
Right, and that's... Woo! So that's the first Eldritch Blast. Here's number 2 of the first attack.
Well, that person died.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you killed that one. So you hit this creature that's operating the Mangonel, and you hit the one next to him, I'm assuming. Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool.
And the first one just goes flying off the deck, and you can see him like floating to the edge of the bubble of the ship. Second one does not die, but does get hit and gets distracted from the Mangonel.
Nice.
And so I think so then everyone takes cover for a minute, but they're still like taking turns like loading, so you could probably get a couple pot shots off.
Okay.
So if you want, I'll tell you what, you could shoot 4 more times. Just shoot 4 beams out, and then I'll just say if people die or not, and then we'll close.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, 2 hits. So roll me 2 damages.
Okay.
I like to think of the blast coming out of each of your hands, like as
Yeah.
you're doing that, like wildly, just kind of bing, 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 bing.
All right. Cool. So you don't kill anyone else, but you definitely rough up the Mangonel crew, and they've like hit the deck. And basically this is happening like as you're coming into range, and as you come within range of the ship pulls aside beside you, no longer in Mangonel range, and you've been firing ballista this whole time. And 3 soldiers are going to jump off the ship and land on the deck, and they're going to hold out their hands in like a motion of peace. Not peace, but like. And so they're gonna say, "Hold. We are willing to talk. Please."
Why did you attack us?
Because you're in our operation, and we need to know what you have seen. We thought that maybe you had observed something that you should not have observed.
Just to put it as politely as possible, we could not care less what you are doing. We are fleeing a catastrophe on Amoeba Prime and heading for refuge. And we have refugees and civilians on board. How dare you?
Out there, you fool. Everyone, this is now under our control. Please surrender, drop your weapons, and you will be treated fairly. And he's got a longbow out. All 3 of them have longbows out as they land.
This is how you greet strangers throughout your journeys. That's detestable. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Are you trying to intimidate them? Shame them?
He's certainly scolding them, trying to make them question why their aggressive stance, like, because his.
So, yeah, it's this whole like debate. Like, do you make someone roll when it's impossible? Definitely not. So definitely not gonna make you roll. They just get agitated, and then the captain says, "I don't think we'll be surrendering. I think if anything, we've given you a bloody nose, and we're here to finish it off." So, and with that in mind, we're gonna roll initiative. So, Zeph, were you still in the hole during all the attacks, or did you try to come up at any point?
I think it depends on how long did it take for all that to happen. At the point when like it was just like impossible for me to find anything, I would come up.
Yeah, probably about a minute. So like the first crack, you're down there like trying to mess around with the hole. People are like, you're like a sea of people panicking, and they're like they're extra panicking as the ship's being rocked by all these strikes. So I would say that you would probably realize this is fruitless, and also holy shit, we're getting attacked.
Probably at the moment the initiative being rolled, Zeph is just like, "Hey, I don't see anything illegal down there. I should be fine."
It's too bad you rolled so low. There was a +5 longbow down there that really would have come in.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna motion you. I'm gonna put you up on the top deck, probably roughly where you'd be coming out, just so that there's gonna be some possible tactic situation happening here, and we're going to do a thing. We're gonna do a combat. So let me add a combat. How do you do this? I forgot. Plus, there it is. Okay. So I've got a combat going. You can add yourself if you know how. I've got a lot of people to add too. So, and there are quite a. You killed. Let's see, Zoraz. You killed a couple of the Hadozi that were like operating the weaponry, but there's still a few. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Hadozi that's operating the ballista as like a placeholder for like the ballista fire. If you start shooting at the ballista people, just let me know. I think the ballistas are shielded, but they're just going to be like representing the 2 attacks that are happening. So I'm just going to put them on there just for the sake of like getting them out of the tracker and everything. And it's time to fight. All right, roll NPCs. Oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to start with Zeph. you're up. You come up on the deck, and you're like, "Hey, I didn't find anything." And then like you just see like these imposing elves. They're fully kit in armor. They have visors over their heads, and they have all three have longbows, and they've got long swords attached to their belt, and they're just gesturing hostilely.
Oh, geez, are these the guys we're killing? Is it time for the killing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna start shooting my longbow. I'll fire at this one here. $16 to hit.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading the chat and got zoned out. Yes, 16 hits.
All right. 10 points. Now hold on 1 second, because I gotta remember how the character works. I feel like there was something with the little children's. Where
Yeah, I think you can once per turn maybe add damage.
I think so. Let me just pull it up real quick. Sorry, I'm gonna have to look at my D&D Beyond sheet because I don't know.
No worries.
I
think
don't
it's
know where
like
to find it.
I want to say it's a D6.
Yeah, it looks like attacks target takes an extra D6 of piercing, so I'll roll that quick.
And remind me, are you shooting which one of these three were you shooting? The top one?
The one on the bottom here.
On the bottom? Okay.
Yep, and we will send Mac on the arrow that sails over there as it goes flying and jumps and leaps onto its face and starts clawing.
Nice.
And then I'll take my extra attack. 24.
24 hits.
12 points of damage. And then I'm going to move back.
Cool. Yeah, I'm being attacked by my 3-year-old. It's like it's a
Take a
wandering
D6.
encounter.
Yeah.
I thought that was Mac. I thought it was
Yeah.
Mac on his way. Whee!
I'm saying like art here where
All right. Anyways, very distracted, but that's okay. Let's keep going. So this elf up here is going to get his turn. He's going to come run up on this ledge. He's going to take a pot shot, and he's going to shoot at the ooze that's standing out in the middle, in the center of the bow. So he's going to fire at you with his longbow twice. I don't know why I hit that twice. Boop. So there's a first attack. There's a second attack. Oh my gosh, he whiffs the first one and the second one. What a. And so he's going to duck down behind that ledge. You have a little bit of cover. And then a ballista attack is going to happen. And this one's going to target... I think he's going to probably also go after you. Because you're standing in the center. That's the damage. Hopefully that won't hit you. Or oh, it misses. Golly, look at those little rolls, like 4 and
I'm
3
a
and 2.
slippery little ooze.
And so this ballista bolt just dunks into the deck right next to you. And then we'll get the next astral elf. This one's going to follow suit, run behind this ledge. This time he's going to go for one of the guys on the ballista. He's going to go for a thug. So attack number 1, attack number 2. Now I'm rolling good against my own people. Okay. Yay! So the first one hits. It does 19 points of damage. So this thug that was operating the ballista next to you, Placebo takes this arrow in his back, and this radiant energy just surges into him. Oh, and he just coughs some blood up.
oh.
And then he's going to take some cover. And then finally, our last elf is going to run up. Same thing. He's going to pull out his bow, and he gets the memo. He's going to try to kill that other. He's going to kill that thug with the first longbow shot. You're kidding me. These are the worst rolls I've ever had. Look at this, everyone. Okay, 14 hits the thug at least.
Aaron.
Okay, that's 22 points of damage and takes him down.
No, Aaron.
Yes. Thug 0. Okay. Anyways, he dies. Boop. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and take him off the field. These sort of like lower level NPCs. There's no saving, so you want to try to like CPR them or something. That they go to 0, they're dead. And that brings us to another Ballista Attack, and this one's going to go for the captain. And miss. All right. So the way I'm going to handle this with the thugs, this thug is going to load the ballista. So this one up here, he's loading. Ichabod, it's your turn.
All right, we are not looking great on spell slots, so we are just going to do some vicious mockery on. We'll do the one that Zeph shot at on the bottom there.
Okay.
So I put it in chat. I think you got to do a saving throw.
Oh, you're right. I do. Yep.
I like the vicious mockery icon. It kind of reminds me of Placebo's mask.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Pretty
Fail
nice,
the saving
yeah.
the saving throw.
All right, so damage normal.
Okay. And does anything else happen on vicious mockery?
Excellent question. Let me check.
Disadvantage on next attack roll.
Yeah. Yep. Thanks.
Cool. I'll just put like a little like symbol on him.
And then I am going to, they're encroaching a little bit. I'm gonna kind of run back over here.
All right. Cool. That's your turn. Placebo.
All right. If I stand over here, am I getting cover from this ledge?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you like duck down behind it, yeah.
Well, okay. I am going to. I want to load up this ballista.
Okay. It is loaded. That's an action.
Okay. Man. And the person that got hit is dead, right?
Yeah, you've like oozed over his body.
Yeah. And Ichabod didn't get hit.
No.
Ichabod did not. Ichabod dodged like 3 attacks.
All right.
Which is funny
So-
because I was thinking during all the approach, like he'd just be doing the dodge action nonstop anyway.
Yeah. So then I guess I won't do any bonus action.
Okay. So then this thug up here is going to aim the ballista, and he just sort of like doesn't really even know who to aim to. He's just going to aim at one of these astral elves. And then the captain, she's going to run up, and she's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, she can't quite make it. Does she have any like range stuff? She's going to throw a dagger at this guy behind cover. And that's going to miss with the cover. So just like can't quite catch him. Damn. Koraz.
All right. There's cover or something I can duck behind up here, or?
Yeah, I would say there's plenty. I mean, there's like so much shit up on this thing that surely there's cover, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna like hop out, blast some Eldritch Blast, and then jump back behind cover. So I'm gonna shoot the Eldritch Blast at this one.
Okay, and you ignore cover because of your spell sniper feat, so you're good.
Noise.
So yeah, you can roll that. Are you rolling both at him?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. Well, if he doesn't go, I'm assuming he's not gonna go down. So yeah, probably both at him.
Okay. Yeah, he's not gonna go down. They both hit.
Right.
I mean,
There's
even with
one.
cover or anything, like they both hit for sure. All right, 4 and 2, so a total of 6.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And you're just gonna pop back behind cover?
Yep, and then pop back behind the cover.
Got it.
I think I
All right. This thug is going to fire the ballista at that same fellow. And that's gonna hit, even with the cover. Maybe like as he's getting like hit by the beams, he's kind of like standing up a bit, and then this ballista just launches across and just sticks him right in the chest. Boom. And then that'll get us to our last thug, and this thug's gonna aim the ballista. But he's looking at you, Placebo. Where should he aim it?
I think we should aim at their ship. Continue to attack their ship.
Okay. And so just the ship generically. He's like, oh, you just the ship, or you want to try to shoot at the ballistas, or?
Yeah, we're getting hit by the ballista, so aiming at their ballista to make them stop. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And that'll bring us to the top of the order. Zeph, you're up.
All right. I'm going to. Is this the only one that's been hurt, or have the others been struck as well?
I think they've all been hit.
Okay.
So they've all been hit a little bit. Yeah.
I'm gonna bonus action do Hunter's Mark on this one, and then I will fire my bow.
Okay. Any babies coming along for the ride?
Oh yeah.
That will
14?
miss.
Okay, second attack.
That will also miss. Man, you got the crit fail out. I'm not doing any crit rules for this game, right? Or have I been doing crit rules? I can't remember.
No.
We just never get crits. So.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll let it stand for now. I'll evaluate if I want to do some old school, like your bow flies out into outer space or whatever. But the arrow misses. They both missed. They just land.
Ah, gee whiz. That's
But
my
he's
turn.
marked. Cool. All right. So then we'll get our elves. So this elf is going to, gosh, what is he gonna do? He's gonna have to face the captain. So he's gonna step out, and he is going to get up with the captain, and he's just gonna longsword her. 2 longswords. I think. The first one's gonna be a hit, and the second one is a miss. There's only a +3 on the longsword. That can't be right.
Is it a
Right?
space longsword?
It's a space longsword. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't have longswords. This is a
Yeah,
bad
if
weapon
they're
choice.
dex-based and they're using a strength-based weapon, right?
Isn't that silly? Yeah,
Wow.
come on.
Amateurs.
I know, right? I'm looking at what's supposed to be. Yeah, +3 to hit. All right. Whatever you say, D&D Beyond. So here we go. He swings. The first is a hit, and he realizes he should not be using his longsword, but it's okay because he's going to do.
Short sword, or
I know, right? That's longswords are cooler. You do 11 points of damage, and +10, +3d6. I didn't code right, so that's okay. So he's going to strike Elena for 21 points of damage.
jeez.
That's not good.
Oh.
So he hits her, and this radiant energy lights up in the long sword. He's sort of clumsily swinging, and like he hits her.
I mean,
He
if
hits
the
her with
captain
it.
dies, is it our ship? I'm just, putting that out there.
Yeah, I guess it's up to Flapjack, right?
I made
She-
sense with Flapjack.
She drops to one knee. That was a heavy blow. And then Hidozi's gonna fire. He's gonna fire at the ballista people. So he's gonna shoot at them. Uh-oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
We'll just roll that twice. Okay. 21 points of damage. That's not terrible. But it is terrible for this guy. It kills him.
Uh-oh, who'd we lose?
He was hurt. These
That better
thugs
not
are
be
like,
Jack.
me thinking this deal isn't so good after all.
So we lost Aaron. Who was that? Was that Amara? Was that Tact? Who'd we lose?
Let's roll a d6. And if it's 1 or 2, it's Tact. 3 or 4, it's Amara. 4, 5 or 6, it's Donald. Tact is dead.
No!
Yeah,
We lost our tact.
You lost the Tact. It's gone. All right. So then our elves are not going to use their longswords. That was a bad choice of weapon. they're gonna fire their bows. First is gonna fire his bow at they're gonna try to take out the rest of the thugs. Because they're realizing the thugs are easier targets. I guess. So first thug, they're gonna shoot this thug in the top. And he will take 18 points of damage. Which is not enough to kill him. And then the other elf is going to follow suit. Wait, which elf is next? I guess it's, yeah, that one. He is going to do the same thing. He will shoot his long bow. Take down the ballista. He crits, fails. Lord in heaven. What is this? I mean, these guys have an 11 AC, and I think I'm missing them more than anyways. So he's dead. There you go. And this is Donald. This is Donald.
No, Donald. We're just down to Baldric and Amara.
Hadozi fires ballista. This one he's gonna fire at the ballista people. It makes the most sense, right?
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And he misses. Yo, look how many times I've rolled a crit one. Like this is not.
Well, that's what they
Cool.
get for attacking a ship that's surrendered. That is
That is
karma.
true. Ichabod, you're up.
All right. So first, Ichabod's gonna turn back to Zeph and say, don't get down on yourself. We all miss occasionally, and gonna give him some bardic inspiration.
Hey, thanks for understanding.
So I guess that's probably under my features. Yeah, here we go. Yes, consume. Yes. All right, and then I'll do another vicious mockery on the same guy down here that I hit and someone else had hit earlier.
Okay.
Spell. So again, wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry. Oh, you said it was the one at the bottom? Yeah, got it. I was trying to confirm that the truly was a +3.
Oh, he succeeds.
Oh, right. And half damage is a cantrip, right?
It's a cantrip, so nothing happens.
All right, placebo.
That'll do it.
Well, this one is loaded and aimed, so I would like to fire it at their ballista.
All right, give me a d20 +6. That's what I said, right?
That's what it was before.
Yep, d20 +6.
So 13?
13. So let's see. If they didn't have cover, that would have hit, but they've got cover because they're a little shielded. So just sort of like right into the cover right beside one of the ports where the ballista is shooting out of.
When we are getting down several people, and it takes 3 whole actions to fire one of these. So at this point, I don't think that's going to be very effective anymore. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm going to run over. I can get right next to Elena.
Cool.
So I will run over there.
All right. So Elena, emboldened by your attempt to save her, help her, she is going to take a couple attacks, and so she will take 3 attacks. So 2 with the scimitar. And the first one hits, and the second one hits. So, yeah. So she just like starts to swashbuckle it up with this guy who's got this powerful longsword that's clumsy in his hands, and she just like gets into underneath his guard and drops 11 points of damage on him. And you can see a bit of blood coming out from like the underneath the mask, like where he's sort of like coughing blood out. And then she's going to come in and try to stab him with her other dagger. And she hits. And does another 6 points of damage. And then she says, if we can take these 3, they're probably the leaders. The rest of them will flee. Come on, with me. And she's going to dance around him. Koraz.
All right, so Koraz is gonna move up behind this cover here, I guess that's half cover or something. And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on this guy here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it rolled. I meant to just display it in the VTT.
No
it's
worries.
a savings throw, I think. Wisdom savings throw.
Yeah. Cool. Wisdom saving throw. Here we go. These guys aren't too bad at wisdom. Whoa, almost rolled the 1.
Whew. Okay, so I think he
safe.
takes half damage then and doesn't have to run away from me.
Yeah. Damage
So, yeah,
round up or round down? I always forget.
I'm not sure. You can round down. That's fine.
Okay. I'll round down for all times.
And he's gonna be like, I am the lone locust of the oh, damn it.
Ah, my thorax.
Alright. Anything
yeah.
else?
He's gonna use his bonus action to create a psychic link with the captain.
Okay.
And he's just gonna say, you know, we continue to protect your interests. You should protect ours as well.
Ooh. Okay. Even though it's not really, and I guess I don't know. Roll me a. What kind of check is that? Intimidation or persuasion?
It's a little
Your choice.
both.
Your choice.
I'm gonna
Persuasion
call
or
it.
intimidation?
I'm gonna call it intimidation.
Go for it.
Every one of Koraz's checks are like hybrid. They're a little this, little
Yeah. A 16. So can she speak back to you? Psychically?
I believe. Let me look. I believe
It's a link, right?
Yeah, it says as a bonus action, choose one creature within 30 feet. You and the chosen creature can speak telepathically with each other while you're within 3 miles of each other. Lasts
Wow.
for 5 minutes.
3 miles. That's amazing. She'll look back and say, "Understood. We can deal with that at the Rock of Brawl. Right now, we have to kill these fuckers."
Fuckers going down.
All right. So then, Thug's turn. They're gonna go below deck.
Peace out.
Yeah, they're gone. They did that. They saw Donald and Tack. They're out of here. Zeph, you're up.
Zeph is just kind of grumbling to himself. Yeah, sure. Kill the leaders. And it'll all be done. And meanwhile, she's going right up in front. No big deal. Okay, kids, do as I say, not as I do, right? Okay. Let's take a couple of shots here at this one. Longbow.
How's
That's a hit.
Ooh, okay. So damage from it'll be the arrow, the hunter's mark. I'll just do 2d6 because I'll do
Yep.
the hive thing then as well. So another 9
And then
points on there.
Cool.
And then
So
when you
minus
need it, I
18.
think you have inspiration too. Just a reminder.
Yeah, I got that. I'm maybe on the second one. Maybe I'll need to use it. The second attack is that one. That one's dead.
Oh yeah, that one's dead. You put the arrow in the back, just right
Okay.
through the crack of the armor.
I will move bonus action. Move the hunter's mark over to this one,
Okay.
and then shoot. And I will be using that inspiration here.
Ooh, let's see.
Come
Hey, Freaky
on.
Yank, how's it going? 14. And I think the cover's probably blown at this point, but still the misses.
Damn it.
Just barely.
And that'll be my turn. I already moved.
Cool. All right, so you're going to receive a ballista shot from the ship. I didn't say who was going to shoot. Well, that's cheating, I guess, because now I know the number. I was just going to shoot. You know what? We're going to roll a d4, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 in order I see on the screen. Who gets the target? And it's going to be Placebo. I'm sorry. Or not Placebo, the other one. Ichabod. Ichabod. Okay, so here we go. Ichabod, you're gonna take 16 points of damage as this ballista bolt just hurtles right into your slimy gut.
All right.
No.
Oh, that was not great.
All right, this astral elf is gonna drop his longbow and begrudgingly pull out his longsword and take a couple swings at the captain. And he'll miss and miss.
Oh,
He just
Elves
saw
are they're not showing off too well right now. You say, "Quick, kill the captain, and then we can take over."
seems to be everyone's plan.
Yeah.
It's a
This is
solid
gonna-
strat.
Actually, this one's gonna not close. This one's going to kind of like run back a bit and then take a couple shots at the captain before he runs around the mangonel. This might be it for Captain Elena. Okay, so it's a crit miss, and then here's the damage. Oh no. Oh no. Elena goes down. She's like, "Everyone, we're pushing them aside. I can feel," and the arrow hits her right in the chest, and this flash of light just, and she just slumps backwards over the edge of the ship.
She's gone. She's off. No
well,
healing.
I don't
word.
know. How do y'all feel about that? Like, I mooks, like little guys, like mob characters, like they just should die, right?
Yeah.
Named NPCs. I feel like if they hit 0, I don't know. I'll tell you what. I'll do a hybrid rule. It's 3 death saves, 3 fails in a row. Like she automatically fails. So you have 3 turns. Let's do it like that.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay. So she's like leaning over the edge, not looking too hot. And then the Hadozi. Oh, and this guy's gonna run a little bit further behind. He's taking cover behind the mangonel. Hadozi, this one's going to target. We're gonna do that same roll. This time it's going after you, Zeph. Are you hiding behind anything?
I don't think so. I'm kind of progressing forward, so.
Okay. So you will take 18 points of damage as a ballista just rifles right into your gut. Tears the sail a bit. And then Ichabod, you're up.
All right, I should probably see what my range is on the old healing word. 60 feet, so let's see. Yeah, I'm probably close enough where I can shoot a healing word.
Thanks for the
first
raid.
level just to stabilize
I'm
the captain.
Barbie.
Even though the player would say, "Hey, this could be our ship." Ichabod's gonna try to save her.
Cool. Hey, Goodman Games, thanks for the host. How are y'all doing? Huzzah! So, healing word on the captain, level 1.
Yeah.
All right, 4 hit points. She slumped over the edge of this ship with this arrow in her chest, and she suddenly feels like a little bit of life come into her eyes. You can see her kind of like brace herself. She still doesn't look good, but she's up.
And then I'm gonna use my main action to dash and just get right up and try to kind of shield her with my ooze body and say, "None shall pass."
All right. Placebo.
Right. Well, you kind of went where I was going to go, but I will go on the. I'll go here. I will go next to you.
Can't they like zhush through each other?
Yeah, like wow.
So, all right, and I'm going to make some attacks on the astral elf here.
Yeah.
So I will hit with my quarterstaff. We'll
Okay.
try.
You
I
just
guess-
barely miss.
Okay, I will use my extra attack.
That one is a hit though. So he deflects your staff and then you bonk him for 10 points of damage. Good lord.
And I'm going to do Flurry of Blows, and I have a feature where I can use one of those to, do an attack, and then the other one to do the healing, Hand of Healing. So I'm gonna put this many hit points, 5, into the captain.
Okay.
And I will do the other as a blow towards the astral elf.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. It hits.
Or 7 bludgeoning.
-7. Okay, still up, but this one's looking bad too.
I just put that in there so it uses the resource.
No worries. Cool. So Elena, technically she was prone up against the edge of the ship, so she'll take up some of her movement to regain herself, and she's gonna say, "Press the attack." And she'll run through you and just get all goopy, I guess, and then try to finish off this guy. So attack. I only roll well when I'm hurting myself. Oh my god, all 3 attacks hit. Okay, so here's scimitar, and dagger. And she's like, out of my way. She's just slicing them up. And so she'll do 19 points of damage. He's dead. So she drops this one. And blood is streaking her face, and she just wipes it up and turns around and says, "Get that last one, finish him off, and then we can board their ship. Maybe we get some salvage out of this after all." Koraz.
Yeah, Koraz is gonna fire off a fire bolt at this guy.
Okay. Yeah, and again with your spell sniper, he has cover, but you're gonna get past that. But you missed.
It hits. Yeah,
it hits.
But we need some rerolls. Yeah, and then just as a bonus action, I'm just gonna, talk to the captain and just be like, "You should get out of there. You're hurt."
Okay. And she'll visibly bristle or mentally bristle at you, whatever that feels like. All right, Zeph, you're up. One measly guy hanging out.
All right, I'm gonna move. Get to there, and let's see. I don't think this isn't the one that was marked, was he?
He's not marked. You can move.
Okay, I'll use my
Shield and
bonus action to move the mark onto him and take 2 shots.
Okay, the first shot's advantaged
Oh, nice.
because he was mocked a long time ago, and then no one ever attacked him. He's still feeling embarrassed.
I think Vicious Mockery has disadvantage, right?
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was I thought you had advantage on it. Okay, that's less cool.
As much as I want to take it, but
No. You're good. I misunderstood and maybe didn't follow the rule properly.
that one misses.
First one misses. That one hits.
All right. So here's the regular damage, and then Vicious Mockery plus. We will say Mac or did I already send Mac? Let's send someone new. Leopold. We'll go sailing towards the mark.
Yeah, and Leopold sort of rides the arrow and maybe even helps bend it to a very vital spot. You just do a ton of damage to this guy right in his shoulder, and he spins.
Making me proud, son.
And
That's
then we're gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4. Placebo, Ichabod, Zeph, and Koraz. Koraz, you get a ballista bolt 10 your way. 15?
That hits.
Uh-oh.
That's my AC, so that hits, right?
Yeah. 7 points of damage.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 3d10. It was enough to completely one-shot you if it had rolled high enough.
Nanny, nanny, boo boo.
And then that's gonna get our elf's turn, and this elf is going to run to the edge of the ship, and he's going to he's basically gonna try to work on escaping. And in fact, it's not really visually represented, but basically the star moth is essentially 5 feet over. Like you could jump between the ships. So he's gonna jump to the ship. I'm just gonna put him there as representation of where he's at. And I don't know. I think he's gonna keep running. So he's gonna run into the ship. And I do have a map for the star moth in case you guys do board them. So, but there'll be another fire from the ballista. And this one's gonna go. I'm just gonna give it to you, Placebo.
Okay.
11 misses, I'm certain.
Yes.
So the thing just, again, the bolt hits into the ship. And Ichabod, is your turn.
So the Astro Elf is no longer visible. He went
Yeah.
into his ship.
Yeah, he's running to the ship, and I will give you access to. Oh, I don't know. Let me see if I can configure this to where y'all can just switch to it. So I'm gonna give you access to a map. You can switch to the Star Moth if you'd like. There's nothing revealed on it currently. I'll reveal the section that he's jumped to. I think it would be, like here. Oops. Uh-oh. Ignore that. Well, it's too late.
I'm not even on the map.
Yeah, there we go. Boom. So there's this section here where the Star Moth, where he's run in, and he's gone down that little hatch.
Well, he did hear Captain say something about taking their ship, and he's not really about spoils. He doesn't really have any attacks that are going to do much against anything physical, because I just do psychic damage. So I think I will do a bonus action inspiration on Zeph again, saying, well, you're getting better, you're getting closer. Keep up the good work. I'll move up here close to it, but then just take the dodge action. He is not going to board the ship.
Okay. And then I need to go back to the other map so my combat tracker is working. Placebo, it's your turn.
Right, I will chase him. I will chase him onto the other ship. I have 40 feet of movement,
Okay.
and I can use a key point to dash if I need to catch up with him.
All right, so we're going to do this. Placebo, I'm going to move you onto the ship.
Okay.
And so you're on the Star Moth if you want to toggle over to that.
All right. I don't know how much do I need to use that extra movement.
I would think you do 5, 10, 15, 20. Probably take you about 20 feet to get where you're at.
All right, then I still have 20 feet. I don't see him. Is the hatch open?
You can try it.
I mean, it's not open. I can't.
Yeah, it's not open. It's not like a gaping hatch.
Well, and if I saw him run to the ship, would I have been able to see him go down there?
Yeah, he went down the hatch.
Okay, I don't want to act like I know exactly where he is if I didn't, but I was able to see him, before. So
Right.
Then I'll go down the hatch. I'm gonna chase him.
Cool. And now I've got to move him to this map. Let's see if this will work. So you pull up the hatch, and fortunately, it is open. And what's going to happen is you're going to go down that hatch. Sorry, this is probably bad for the NPC, more bad for the NPCs than for you. You open up into a room, and you see 4 dozy shipmates, and they're operating these ballista. And actually, I'm sorry, no, you wouldn't. You would see 6. I'm sorry. These other 2 would have come down. So they're just they're operating the ballistas, and they see you, and all of them have some variation of cigar or cigarette in their mouth, and they're like, "Oh shit, we don't want to do anything problems. We are just mercenaries, please."
I want to get to him. If you let me through, I won't hurt you.
He's like, "You fools, attack them!" And so there's like a contest of wills here, and he's like edging to the wall. And it just they can't move. There's nowhere to go. It's like completely clustered. And so they're just like with their hands in the air.
If I can, like, so we can pass through non-enemy spaces, but can't pass through, enemies. So if they won't let me through, I'm going to hit them. Like if I can't use my movement to get through them to get to my target, then I will start hitting them. Okay,
so yeah, that's what we'll say that it's all chaotic. So they don't they're not trying to stop you, but it's just too they're not permitting you to go through either. They haven't decided. So I think you're going to want to hit.
Okay. Otherwise, I was looking to see what level monk I am. I can't run up walls or anything, so I guess I will have to use my actions to take out the guy in front. Try to take out the guy in front of me.
Okay.
So I will attack with my quarterstaff.
Oh gosh. That's a hit.
All right.
I didn't do it. Almost.
All right. An extra attack.
Okay. Well, that's a hit.
I told him I wasn't gonna. Okay, for 10 bludgeoning.
Yeah, so you're killing him, right? Just to make sure this is combat.
I am.
So the first hit, you knock the cigar out of his mouth, and his little beret, his jaunty beret goes flying, and then you just crack him in the head. He's like, oh, and he just goes down. They say, we surrender, please, don't kill us. We're just mercenaries.
I need to get to him.
Oh, okay. And they step out of the way.
All right. And so if I can get to him, I don't know how much movement.
I don't know either. You can do it. It's fun. You can make it.
All right. I'll use my flurry of blows and try to get the guy.
Okay.
Ah, that's a 2.
First one's a miss. Oh, almost a 3. That's the hit.
Don't sound so sad. For 9 bludgeoning.
How do you want to do it?
Well, there's a lot of smoke in here, and I don't like that. It makes my bubblegum pink very cloudy. But my little I like to swing around on my quarterstaff. I kind of anchor it and swing around, so the flurry of blows is just getting blobbed by my feet. So it's boom, boom, and he just kind of gets covered with bubblegum pink, smoky but bubblegum pink ooze.
He goes down. And the dozy shipmates, they've totally surrendered. They're not even remotely trying, especially if you killed one of them in 2 hits. They're not even going to try to oppose you. So, anything else?
No, that is all I can do.
All right. So then I took you out of the combat tracker by doing that. Well, it's probably okay. I think we're out of combat at this point. So what I'll say is we're out of combat. But I'm gonna and we can explore the other map if y'all want to hop over to the other one, you can. But we're out of combat. The issue is going to be this: you are anyone who's on the ship is starting to see the Star Moth is starting to pull off. So there's still someone flying, controlling the ship. So you can imagine it's the Spelljammer. And same thing, Placebo. You feel the ship starting to drift away.
Yeah. Ichabod would definitely now, at this point, jump on the other ship to join his sister.
Okay. Yeah, I think I made it so where Moondancer and Star Moth are both player maps now, so you should be able to move along as you want. I don't think there's any need for combat tracker anymore. Is that cool with everybody? We're out of combat?
Yep. I'd be heading over to the other ship.
Okay. Anyone heading over to the ship, you can just move on, and I will move your little tokens over. I think if this is done right, I always forget if y'all stats stay. Yeah, they do. Okay, cool. So who all's moving over? Zeph, you're moving? I guess I won't assume you're going down the hatch.
Oh, I sure am. It's free ship.
All right, I'll just move everybody over there, and if you're for some reason not, you can hold off. Elena's not. She's gonna stay behind because she's had a near death experience. And so this map, it's a little bit like a dungeon. I don't think we have to over complicate stuff. I'm just gonna reveal the ship to you because you're gonna very quickly figure out what's going on. So I'll reveal big chunks. So this first floor, if you come in here, you'll open up, and it's obviously that this is like various places where they like to they sleep, where they cook their dinner. You'll be much more impressed by the cleanliness of this kitchen, Zeph.
Ooh.
It's a little more interesting fare in there. It's still pretty tight, but it's like more state of the art type stuff. This ship is actually very nicely maintained. And if you want, there's a little graphic down at the bottom that shows kind of like the side view of what you're seeing. You see that down there at the bottom right corner? So it kind of give you a visualization of like what's happening.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to think of it like y'all came in like over here. Okay. So what's the plan? The ship is starting to move. Like slowly.
We have to find the person flying the ship.
That is a good idea.
What's going on with these dudes here? Are we killing them?
Like, no. We are just mercenaries. Please. We don't. You pay us, and we'll come work on your ship, huh?
Oh.
You'll work on this ship for us in about 15 minutes.
And actually, Koraz, when you say that, one of the Hadozis will say, "Oh, I don't think that's such a good idea, my friend. If you take over the ship, the Astrals, they hold grudges."
Can you tell us where the Spelljammer is on this ship, so we might strike up a conversation with him, her, or them?
Okay, sure. And so the one that was sort of doing the talking, he's going to lead you this direction. He's going to point up these stairs. And this is going to resolve very quickly, I'm assuming. You're going to run up until, as you're going, you can see more of the ship. I'll just reveal a bunch of the ship here. There you go. Classic Fog of War style. You'll get up there and you'll see that there is this lone Spelljammer who's operating the spelljamming ship. And he's like communicating too. He's like sending messages using sending stones.
If we could have your attention, is there any way Ichabod can try to wrest the sending stone from his hand?
I'm not sure. Do you have to attune to sending stones, or can you just take them?
I think he just wants him to no longer be able to send messages as to what's happening.
Sure, I'm not making you roll. This guy's flabbergasted when you walk in the door. Like, it's basically like, oh shit, this is it.
This went wrong.
This went wrong, yeah. So he'll drop and say, "Oh, what do you want?"
Zeph just knows that him and Koraz probably don't have a role in this. So I'm just gonna reach into my bag and like hand Koraz one of those leafy protein meals and be like, let's watch the show.
And it's delicious.
Delicious.
Yes. Might I have your name?
Oh, name. It's like, my name is oh gosh, give me an elf name. Quick, chat, help me out. My name is, who's the last person that wasn't me or Alex to say something? Goodman Games. My name is Goodman.
Solid elf name.
Yeah.
Well, Goodman, I hope you live up to your moniker, because you find yourself in a precarious situation, seeing as your colleagues acted aggressively and downright impolitely toward us. So we are temporarily commandeering your vessel. If you could steer a little bit closer to the moonlighter there, that way maybe you can tow us to our next destination. But that will be a group decision with my companions and Captain Elena.
All right. I don't think you even need a check for this. I mean, he's surrounded by several killers and he's outnumbered, so he's just going to just acquiesce, and just the ship will kind of like he'll match the speed of the Moon Dancer.
Oh, is it? how come I have Moonlighter, Moon Dancer? That sounds a lot better.
Moonlighting, that's what we're all doing, you know.
Yeah,
That's right. So what do you do? What will you be doing with me?
I will for now. I think you are valuable in that not anyone can be a spelljammer. So if you cooperate, I think your life is probably going to be secured in the short term, certainly. But I would like to go. If my two comrades here want to, keep an eye on you, I would love to rejoin my sister and the captain on the other ship to see how we want to proceed.
And I'm still with the Hadozi, the one I killed. I'm kind of propping against the wall. Like, you're okay, it's okay, but...
His head's lolling
yeah.
everywhere. Like, kind of cracks the wrong way.
Oh, hello. Maybe maybe you would like to continue to occupy their time while I'm wondering if there's a way we can tow our ship and have both vessels, but I don't know about such things. So maybe you do, or the captain will have an idea.
Well, they were saying that the astral elves hold grudges so strong that they held one against us, and we did nothing wrong to them.
Right. They seemed willfully intent on making us enemies, so I guess I'm a little less concerned about remaining enemies, because they don't really... It seems like no matter what you do, you will be their enemy.
The captain may have some ideas of what to do.
I think you are probably better equipped to keep an eye on these mercenaries. If you wouldn't mind, I will go and speak to Captain Elena.
Yes. And maybe we can find out what they thought we saw that was worth killing us over.
Yes, but then if we do know it, then we will be a viable target. But
they already think we know it.
That's true. Knowledge is power. That is a good point. Yes, maybe these Hazodi gentle folk can clue you in, while I maybe at least get an idea from Captain Elena of how we might proceed.
Okay. So the Star Priest just staring at Zoraz and Zeph. There's like these two Thrycreen, like eating.
I'll offer her some. There, we want some. It's good stuff.
He takes it, he sniffs it, he's like, I won't turn down that free meal. He eats
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty good. Hey, so, secret mission, huh? Yeah. I've been on a secret mission or two in my time. So what are y'all doing? Like, secret, plans to build some kind of doomsday device, or what you got going on?
Roll me an intimidation check. With advantage. He's got the dad energy. It's scary. Alright. Come on, dice. Uh-oh.
23?
That's a crit. So, he just looks at you, and you're just like very calmly, like, you have the dad energy, but you have that like also I'm gonna kill you energy, like just percolating behind the scenes, and he just says, "Well, listen, I'm just a spelljammer on low rank. I can just, if I tell you, will you make sure that I get safe passage?"
Oh, of course. Koraz and I here, we're really, we're the killers of the group. So you get in good with us, and there's really no threat. There's no one to do the job. So yeah, it's pretty spooky stuff.
He kind of straightens up a little bit in his spelljammer chair. He's like, well, that's good to know. I guess I will tell you. We are bringing astral seeds to this backwater planet.
Oh, seeds. What you growing? Wouldn't be some kind of crystalline plant that absorbs heat or nothing, would it?
I take it that you were on the planet when the seeds sprouted.
Yeah, we were around. We saw some things. We had to book it pretty quick there, so you know, kind of, I guess, like, why?
Because it's our command.
Oh, I get that. Just following the rules, following commands.
What do you think, Zeph? Should we follow the command the captain gave us to kill this shithead?
Well, you know.
No. Listen. You don't have to do that. So.
On orders, you took out my friend's home planet.
Oh, now easy there, Koraz. Emotions are running high here.
Roll me an intimidation check with advantage.
Alright.
We have to escalate the level of knowledge. 22.
We're playing bad cop here.
Bad cop, dad cop.
Oh, hey,
Oh, hey-oh. That's good for the dad.
That's the name of the episode right
Yeah.
there.
Hey, geez, stay off my territory there, guy.
So he just says, listen. All right, fine. I don't know as much as you may like, but I will tell you the basics. These seeds, they, as you see, they grow and they drain the heat from all the plant life and animal life on the planet until the planet is a husk. It drains it. Once everything is done, takes several months, all life is been drained, then it submits a burst of light back to the home planet, to our home star, Xaryxis. It's what keeps the star alive. But there's nothing you can do. There's no way to stop it. Once it's begun, it's begun.
What if we take out your star, huh?
Destroy a star. I see, you're the comedian in the group, huh?
Must be.
So, yeah, I mean, have you always been doing this? What's the deal with your star? Is it like sick or something?
He says, yes, it is sick. It's dying. But it produces these seeds. And as long as we plant these seeds on planets every once in a while, it re-energizes. Keeps it alive. Keeps our people alive.
It's always been that way, or is this a new thing?
As long as I remember.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah, I didn't realize, I guess I haven't heard so much about Astrolofs. I'm just really learning today that you guys are all assholes.
Astral elves.
These are funny. These are
It's the
funny.
shakes.
Yeah.
I told you what I know, and now... what else do you want to know? I'll tell you everything, please.
Who's giving these commands? Who's the head honcho? Or if there's a council thing you got going on, like, tell us about them. If you're, I don't know, who's responsible? We want to hold someone responsible.
Commander Vael. Commander Vael, he is in charge of this operation. He left us behind. The ship is called the Dark Star. He left this behind to monitor in case anyone tried to escape the planet. But Vael, he's the one who commands the forces.
Where can we find him?
He's already heading back to Xaryxis. Fuck. I'm so nervous. I can't say my own home planet.
That's so I understand. You've been...
Xaryxis space. Keep trying. We're the last behind.
So you're coming directly from what happened in Mocopia.
We were watching to make sure that everything went all off correctly.
And by off correctly, you mean you killed my friend's planet?
he like, it's either your planet or my planet. I had to choose.
I mean, I would pick my planet, but that's just me. I mean,
Then you understand.
there
If you're
has
in
to
my
be-
position.
there has to be some other way, you know? Can't you put your seeds on some planet that doesn't have people on it already?
It needs life.
You put it on a planet you're on. Jesus.
He's just like, eyes are widening up. He's like, whatever you say, yes, we will send the next seed to Xaryxis' home planet that we are trying to drain energy from to support. We will do that. Whatever you want.
Well, I think it sounds like we got a real complicated situation here where, like, you're just trying to survive, I guess, in like a weird way where you're okay with like killing other people and like that's fine. I don't know. The whole moral, like, trying to sort this stuff out really ain't my strong suit. What do you say, Koraz? Is trying to decide whether a person should live or die pretty nuanced decision in your book?
I mean, usually we just kill them, right?
Yeah, usually we do.
So, I'm not about subtlety. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know.
We really, you got more useful things to say. You better say it now before our mind reader friend comes back and we learn that you held out on us.
No, I've told you everything I know, and I don't know if there's a way to save your planet. It's never been done.
Okay, I was just trying to freak you out there on that last one. I think we're good here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, how do you fly one of these things? How do you do that? That looks cool.
Well, I guess I could show you.
Yeah. Show me.
Not while we're supposed to be like staying together.
I want to fly.
Man, this guy has like a really useful spell that he would have totally used. I'm gonna pretend like he's out of spell slots. He has a spell like escape. It's just like words of recall. My gosh, he should have done that. Oh well.
He also, you know, if he's just a Spelljammer, he might never have had to use it. It might never have been in the situation. He's just
Sure, yeah.
panicking.
And now
just
he's
like,
thinking,
He
damn
can use
it!
it now.
I
What was that
studied
spell?
Yeah.
for so long and
It's
I
like-
didn't use it.
oh,
I
Commander
know.
Vial's gonna kick my ass when he learns that I.
First rule of
Good man.
Spelljammer school.
Lesson one.
We assumed that we took him off of his Spelljammer helm and like tied him up or something like that. or-
yeah. Well, I'm sure you wouldn't have interrogated him with like he's a spellcaster. You probably would have like done all
Yeah.
the stuff, you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he's good. So you've got him. So yeah, so let's gonna, you know, what is everyone up to other than the interrogators? So Placebo and Ichabod. Ichabod, you were going back to the captain, I think.
Yeah, why don't we just kind of go in the Placebo? What are you? You might.
Sure.
as
So
well
I
do-
was just hanging out with these guys, making sure they didn't do anything. So
Oh, you're not gonna
That's all.
pump them for information.
I don't think I would think to do that.
All
She'd
right,
just be
fair
like,
enough.
so what are you doing? What's up?
Yeah, they're just like smoking now, and they're just
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you want a cigarette, huh?"
No, but I'm very sorry. I killed your other friend. He wouldn't move out of the way. I had to get him out of the way. And so that
Yeah, c'est la vie. Yeah, we are live the mercenary life. It is the way it is.
this is a very bad thing, though, to go and just attack surrendering ships. You shouldn't do that.
Well, I'm not the captain. I mean, actually, I may be the captain now. Depends on how the Spelljammer is doing.
Well, I still think, you know, even if you're getting paid money, you have a brain in your head and you get to make the decisions. And firing on a ship that is surrendered, that is a bad decision to make.
Agree to disagree. He smokes. It is dangerous out here in wild space. Everyone knows. You piss off the astral elves, they will take you out.
Yes, but that is where I think they get pissed off very easily. We did nothing. We were on a ship flying, and they attacked us. So if they're getting angry for us existing, that's a big problem.
He just shrugs. It's like I said, I was not the captain. I did not give the order. I just pulled the lever back on the mangonel a few times.
Yes, I know. We saw the things come flying at our ship. But I will let the rest of my friends decide what to do with you.
He's like he's just like we don't have no ill will against you. If you want to take us to the nearest port and drop us off.
Oh, they might not want to do that. They might want to do something different. I'm going to wait to see.
Okay.
I'm just here making sure they don't fire anymore or do anything. Like, I'm trying to corral them, essentially. I'm like a German shepherd.
Yeah, they're like playing cards and stuff. Like, they're very just like disaffected. How about you, Ichabod?
Ichabod would return to, once the ships were back within, jumping distance, would report back to the captain, they've secured the Astro Elves ship. And I think his biggest questions would be, are we going to be in a worse position if we take this ship with us to the Rockabral? Or are we, does it give us more security if we can travel, either just travel next to each other or tow the other ship? I don't know how much, if it's still able to fly given how much damage it took. So he's just kind of updating her of what he doesn't know anything that the Astral Elves are behind the attack on Macopia. So he's more just still trying to think we have to get to the Rock of Brawl and figure out, whether or not we take the ship with us or not.
Yeah, so you'll get back on the deck, and Elena's still up on top deck, and she's just sort of like staunching wounds, and she's barely hanging in there. And had been, almost died. And she'll just flatly tell you, like, what we need to do is take their spelljamming helm, kill anyone who left, so there's no trace, no chance for communications, and then we scuttle the ship. Because if I know my astral elves, they've already sent a message of distress. And if we're caught with that thing, we're going to be in big trouble. And there's no way the Rock of Brawl will let us in with that.
Yes, I took the stone, but I believe that he was transmitting right as we entered, probably letting his superiors know that they were being boarded. So it could well prove that there are more on the way, which makes me think maybe we should take their ship instead of this ship, because at least we will reach our destination faster. They will, or at least they will not be able to catch us as easily.
Well, I think that could work, except for we have all those civilians. I don't know if there'd be space. Maybe we could separate.
It was a streamlined vessel, certainly smaller and more nimble than the Moon Dancer. But if we've made an enemy of these astral elves anyway, might it just be better to keep their ship with us as at least another weapon against them if they come for us?
And you can have this back and forth, but she'll say, listen, I'm in no position to protest, but I would just say this, if I were you, I wouldn't hold on to it. Either ditch it as soon as you can or ditch it now. But I'm happy to take the civilians on to Rock a Brawl. We can call our deal done. But I don't want to fly in that thing.
Well, what if we kept them near each other? We can go at the max speed of the Moon Dancer, keep the vessel. He doesn't know it's called the Dark Star, but the keep that going at the same speed. We can kind of strip it for parts and loot. I think maybe I don't know if there'd be any value in keeping the prisoners. There's a handful of Hazodi who are firing the ballista, and then, as far as I can tell, just one astral elf who was the Spelljammer of the vessel. I don't know if, again, keeping a prisoner would give us any sort of leverage. Maybe we could learn more about why they attacked us.
Maybe so. Well, I don't know. What I'll say this, and I'll leave the decision to you, but I'd be happy with keeping a safe distance. And you would also know that you kind of have to go fast enough to like properly like travel. But we could both chart a path of the Rock of Brawl, and we could strip parts at designated times and eventually leave the ship. I'm happy to salvage it. Like I said, I've been hoping to find something useful.
The other problem is, I don't know how specialized the skill spelljamming is, if we could even have someone else pilot their ship, or if we would be dependent on them. If we're dependent on their spelljammer, it seems to me that he could change course or do something dangerous, like ram into the ship. So maybe we have to leave it for that reason, if nothing else.
And like I said, I'd recommend you execute him.
That's if you think he has no other value. We do travel with a couple of Thrycreen who do resort to, you know, ending the conversation permanently. That they are good at that. But maybe we bring the prisoners onto the ship and away from there, so we can at least explore their ship and maybe learn more without them being around.
Okay. So why don't we kind of like collectively decide how you want to handle, and we can role play it out, but I'm also cool just getting to like, if y'all feel it'd be easier just to come to your answer, is like basically, what do you want to do with the Hadozi and this priest? What do you want to do with the ship? And what's your plan for like the prisoners and all that kind of stuff? So assuming you're all kind of like together and like everything, like I'm not gonna like, oh, and he casts, you know, fireball or something. Like everything's taken care of. You can just discuss it out. Elena's, you know, her 2 cents is we could use the Hadozi, kill the priest, take the spell jamming helm, and like desert the ship, like loot it and desert it. That would be her suggestion.
That's sort of the direction Koraz and Zeph were just like intimidating this guy, and like Koraz like fully intends on like killing this guy. Like he made a promise to kill him, and they've been kind of flirting with it, and he kind of wants to kill him. So he's down with that. He'll vote that direction.
1 vote for killing.
And keep the Hadozi are cool. They're fine. They're just working. But this guy, he was just like, oh, sorry, just had to kill your planet. That's all.
Right.
I think that doesn't sit well with me.
I think
I don't like that either, because instead of moving from their planet and living elsewhere, they are deciding to kill other planets that don't have a chance to leave. So if this is something he knew and he still did it, I think he should die.
maybe we should keep him around for a little bit, because it seems like he knows a lot. He says he's all done telling us stuff, but, you know, he might be able to teach us some things about, like, these astral elves and their protocols, and might help us if we're going to make a move and try to do something to help Macopia. I don't know. Maybe we kill him later.
Yeah, Ichabod would have been in favor of keeping him alive until he learned that all the details about what the astral elves are up to. So now he's a little bit less, valuing that individual's life, but can definitely see that, we might be able to learn more. And there's a part of Ichabod that would think like, well, maybe this is a chance for us to like change their ways and make some, ties between the people, the astral elves and things. So he would probably vote on keeping him alive in the short term, but definitely kind of junking the ship, taking any, like stripping it and getting out of there before more astral elf vessels appear.
I agree with that. I don't trust anyone who sneakily attacks a country, a whole planet, with astral seeds. He could tell us anything. So I am with Koraz.
I
He
can
die now. In my-
So we're split on whether he dies now or.
I think
I think the captain has the untying vote.
I think Zeph would be like, he wouldn't vote. Like, he kills people because other people tell him to. So like he's not really like, he's just like devil's advocate. So he's gonna like abstain basically.
So 2 versus 1 with like a neutral.
Yeah, and Ichabod won't lose any sleep if this guy is killed. He does harbor a certain amount of rage toward.
How
Just
about we don't
these
kill him?
people.
We just throw him overboard and let him figure it out.
Space him.
He can walk the plank.
Oh, but I think we can be more merciful than they were to us. A quick death.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Once
Nobody wants to have any fun out here.
yeah, Ichabod would sort of at that point where it's decided he's going to die. Ichabod would kind of just leave. He doesn't relish being a part of the actual carrying out of the execution.
Let's find out what he wants. Hey, bud, do you want a quick death? You want like long, slow, just sort of somewhat painful death? What are your preferences?
What does your culture appreciate when comes time to die?
Ugh. Make it quick.
Okay. Koraz, you want to deal with this one?
Sure.
All right, we won't do any rolls because this guy has actually a lot of hit points, but for the sake of like narrative, you can kill him however you would like.
Oh, it is a slow death.
Yeah, you just stab him 50 times.
1,000 lashes with a wet noodle.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll stun him, and then you can do an extra damage.
yeah, I think we'll just like, slit his throat or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, gosh.
Just let him bleed out.
Okay. So you slit his throat, you leave him on the floor. Our NPC.
I'm gonna carve Astral Elf and do it like, I don't know, his armor bent or something.
God.
Now let's yeah. What a racial slur. So when they come and find him.
Yeah, that's probably inappropriate.
We're coming for you. Coming for you, ass.
All right. And yeah, the spell jamming ship, the spell jamming helm, the way those work, those are very valuable. I think they're worth like 5,000 gold pieces. I'll double check it. You'll be able to salvage that. They're meant to be kind of like docked and undocked, so it takes some work, but like you can get it out. The rest of the ship, if you hunt it down, I actually don't. For some reason, I didn't think about y'all boarding and like stealing their stuff, which is strange. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I thought about it, but like too late.
After they blew so many holes into our ship, yeah, we are stripping this.
I thought there's a chance I might kill you, but and then
Yeah,
capture
you
you.
First thought I had
so
as soon
low.
as I realized we could board the ship was like, we have to like take it.
Yeah. So, but that said, yeah, I mean, you'll find, a bunch of supplies, more water, more food, which is good. Not a whole ton because this is a smaller crew, right? Or a small number of people, but there's still a good amount in here. I mean, it was enough to support about like 13 people, so that's helpful because you've got 40 civilians. So it gives you a little extra wiggle room. You'll find weapons, any sort of all kinds of weapons and uniforms and armor that would be maybe useful to you from astral elves, but no magical items of interest. But you will find like maps and details about what they were doing, and it basically all corroborates what Goodman was telling you. he was telling you that like and you could surmise from like the charts that the mini star moth had been coming into this wild space and been delivering astral seeds They're deposited from this the back chamber, like this thing here. They were all stored in this area, and there were just dozens of those seeds that were shot out to the planet.
Are there still any?
Are there any?
more? Yeah.
Good question. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Let me look. Let me double check. I don't think so. I think they had fired them all off, but I will see. Boop, 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 boop. No, they're all gone. So they fired them all off. So basically, like, they were the last ship, and so they stuck around after depositing the last of the seeds to just make sure no one made it off planet during the attack, that no one, basically make sure everything went off well. And so when they saw you escaping from the planet, they immediately went after you.
Did we find any sort of intel that would indicate where they were going next, or any other operations currently?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Okay.
And then we'll use this like a stand-in for, like, not like, because it's not a time limited issue necessarily, but just more like kind of like what is there. 20 is pretty good. So you find out, again, a lot of this is corroborating information, but you find out that Commander Vael is the leader of this operation. He was in this area sort of supervising the bigger picture planting, and he has made his way back into the astral sea. He has gone to Xaryxis space, which is the realm that Xaryxis is based. So where the star is, where the planet is, where their fortress is, like their palace, all that stuff is in that Xaryxis realm.
Is there any kind of like hint of like do we know if we wanted to go there? Do we know how to get there? Is there any kind of hints if there's any security of that Xaryxis space or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say that, with the 20, I mean, they're not going to carry all the state secrets on a random ship, but there's enough information there to figure out that you're not going to just like sail up to them and attack them. Like, your impression is that if you're going to do something to Xaryxis space, you're going to need like an army. That it'd be like, I don't know, like breaking into Nazi Germany and to assassinate Hitler is like some guy. Like, you need some support, some planning, some intel, some probably some allies.
Gotcha.
Well, we do
So
have like five
here.
like 5 Hazoti or whatever their names are, right?
Yeah.
So we're starting. We've got 5.
Yeah, that's right. And they don't give a fuck. They'll turn on him as long as you pay them.
You guys got friends or family that need a job?
Yeah, they got a whole planet of Hadozi.
I mean, that stands to reason. Should we try to stash this ship to use it later to infiltrate Xaryxis space?
Well, and that's why I thought it might be of some use in the future.
That's my thought.
But
if they're
I
just
don't
gonna
know if
be
it.
facing us, then it might not be helpful right now.
And they may man codes, and we might not know what to say using the sending stone. So I don't know whether it's worth it if we're just would be flying around with the target on our back, because they wouldn't be able to communicate with us, and they would just attack on sight. I just don't know.
Or we could. Are you suggesting we hide it somewhere? We stash it for later when we do have an army. That is
what I am suggesting. If we're gonna just salvage it anyway, hide it behind a planet somewhere. Maybe we need it in the future. We come back.
Yes, if there's a convenient place to stash it. But then if we come back and they have found it, I don't know how they keep track of their vessels other than just the sending stones communication. So I don't know if it's, again, more of a asset or a liability.
If you talk, I guess the Hadozi probably say, I mean, they have a ability to track their ships, and the technology to scry for them and locate object on them and all kinds of things. So if you could stash it, if you had a way to shield it from discovery, But otherwise, I think they would find it sometime soon. Maybe now-ish.
Yes,
Damn it.
I think we abandon it, and the less we can connect ourselves to what happened here, we take these 5 Hazodis aboard. We have
They've
executed.
multiplied. There's now 7 for some reason.
2 more came
Oh,
down from the
hey.
hatch.
Oh.
There were 2 up in the observatory.
And we abandon it. They come. They see their one dead Spelljammer, and are left to conclude that someone knows what they're doing, but they don't know who and they don't know where they're going. So I think we just leave them with questions. I say we abandon the ship.
That sounds good.
That is wise. Yes.
I don't think the spell dancer can take another assault. We don't need that target.
Is there a way we can like blow this thing up and like have a big cool explosion? Because that'd be fun, huh?
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen
better
it.
than him.
I've never seen an explosion in Wild Space. That might be a spectacle worth witnessing.
Yeah, so the Hadozi will say, well, I mean, I guess what we could do is we could, I don't know, we could set some explosives inside the ship, rig some things up, and they're kind of like talking to each other because they're like engineering type, you know. Like I think it could be done.
Oh, that would be spectacular.
That would be cool.
I admit it would make me feel a little better, you know, since given what they're doing to our planet, to see something of theirs destroyed.
Yeah.
Crude, I know, but
If they
there you
come
have
and
it.
get it, maybe
Oh, booby
maybe we'll
traps.
be on it when they blow. That would be even cooler.
So I don't know what that would exactly be, but I'm sure with like all the different like tech and weaponry and everything, like they could probably rig something up. Maybe like some of the seeds that like the devices used to like expel them, if they like jam it up with like some explosives or something. But yeah, we're gonna blow the ship up. So you head back to the Moon Dancer at some point in time, and we are going to say that you rig the ship up. Maybe you overload the spell jamming dock. I don't know. Walk with me on this. Fire some ballista into it. You roll a mangonel ball down the hall. I don't know. Something bad happens to the ship, and it doesn't like explode. It just kind of cracks in half into like pieces because you weren't able to like shoot with a fireball or anything. And the pieces just sort of float apart, and each of them you can see develop their own oxygen pocket, and they become flotsam, or I guess jetsam, or whichever one it is, and they go floating off into space. And you see 10 magic items that fell out of a secret compartment. Yeah, I should have put some magic items in. I thought
we all
about
turn our back on it and walk in slow motion as it
it.
happens.
Yeah, it's like I think a little tiny explosion.
Not as satisfying.
Yeah.
Blown
No.
up, but I will take it.
It is very satisfying. Now if they come to get their ship, they don't have all the answers. They won't know who survived.
That is true. And it could have been a technical difficulty. Although, if Goodman was telling them the current state of things, they may already know the name of our ship, the type of the ship, as they were coming aboard. So we still are not out of danger.
We should hurry and get somewhere where we can get off the ship and no longer be associated with it. Sorry, Captain Elena.
So Captain Elena will be quick to get the ship back on course to the Rock of Brawl, and she says, we took some serious damage, but I think as long as we stay out of trouble, keep our noses clean, head down, we'll be there in maybe another 12 well, actually, no, hold on. We only went 2 hours, right? Yeah, another couple days. So everyone sit tight. And so what we'll do from here, it's 10 o'clock. You will all get a long rest. And I will... 7 of the Hadozi shipmates survived. They all had like 7 hit points or 9 hit points. Like you almost killed them all. Like several of them had like 2 hit points from Koraz's beams. But the dozies will move over, and they're willing to be true shipmates. They're not going to run like the thugs, like they're like actual sailors and whatnot. And you'll get a long rest. So if you want to give yourself a long rest, you can.
Yes, please.
And we don't need to we won't play out everything because I do want to get you to the next point in the story, next beat, and then I think we'll wrap up there. So as you're moving, over this time period, no wandering encounters, no problems. You see some fish, you see some really low key stuff. Everything is great, and you actually pass briefly through the astral sea, and you make it to the next wild space area. So it's a very quick trip to the astral sea. You break into the next wild space realm. Captain Elena informs you, actually Flapjack probably informed you, that this is where the Rock of Brawl is located, and you will be there in a couple hours. And of course, if anyone's talking to Flapjack or near Flapjack, he will reach out psychically and just again say, "Oh, there's something going on." And the ship slows to a crawl again. Captain Landing comes out on the deck, and she looks out, and is anyone on the deck at this point? This is I don't know, just the next day or something.
Yeah,
Zeph, you're on the deck. You're on the deck. Okay, cool. You're on the deck, and she grabs hold of your arm, Zoraz, and she's trying to shake you out of your trance as you're watching all the stars shooting by, and everything slows down. And she's like, "Do you see that? Mind flayers." And you see a mind flayer ship come into motion or come into view. I'll share it. It's gigantic. It's the last thing we're going to do for the day.
And we are in the astral sea at this point?
No, you just come out. You've just come out, and you're in the wild space realm with Rock of Brawl. You're about a 2-hour drive away, and you come into view of this mind flayer ship. And that is where we're going to stop. Next time on The Light of Xaryxis, what will the party do with this mind flayer ship? Will they attack it? Will they try to make friends with the mind flayers? Will they become the mind flayer slaves? Will they have their brains eaten? What will happen next time on Spelljammer? Something like that. Okay, cool. Friendship, yes. So that said, we are wrapping up for the day. Couple quick things. If you are new to the channel, come hang out in our Discord. Come say hi. We like to hang out with people who watch the games, and we like to recruit them to play in our games. Everyone here has, except for Alex, he started the channel, but everyone here has been brought in because they were part of the community or friends or connected somehow. I came in as just a guy watching the channel. I think Ryan, similar thing. And come hang out with us. It's how we get to know cool people. We also have a community campaign that you can play in. And there's no catch. You don't have to be well, you may have to be a follower. I don't know how Alex takes about that. You don't have to be a subscriber. You have to do anything. Just come in the Discord, say, "Hey, I want to play," and you can play. And it's an interesting system. Basically, we have tier 1 and tier 2 adventures, and the tier 1 adventures are multiple DMs, and they pull players almost like I want to say it's kind of like Adventures League, but I feel like that's really the wrong spirit. It's kind of our own thing. It feels a bit more organic. You find items, you get to keep your items, all that kind of stuff. Not to say anything bad about Adventures League, but it's a lot of fun. There's it's kind of an old school style vibe. You might die, you might get maimed, you might have something bad happen to you, but it's fun. Come play in the community game with us. Just jump into the Discord. And otherwise, if you're just nah, I don't want to play, but I listen to actual plays, all that kind of stuff. We play every other Monday doing Spelljammer. We're going to be off next session. So in 2 Mondays, we're off. We're going to be back in probably 4 Mondays because I'm going to be on vacation. So that's going to be that thing. But I also play an Eberron campaign. That's every other Monday offset by this one. So that's next Monday. So again, that one is a little bit of a more character focused style game, but similar style because I'm the DM. But we have other things going on. There's games happening most days of the week. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I'll pull it up here in just a second. And So for this particular week, tomorrow we have Tragic Size Every Story, where someone's playing Undertale. Is it Joe or is it you, Alex?
Me.
Undertale, yeah. So we'll be playing Undertale. A little break from traditional like tabletop role playing stuff, but it's fun time seeing Tragic Size Every Story. It's always like, again, still story based games, and it's still played in a way that's engages in the story, which is a lot of fun. Wednesday is gonna be Dragonlance, which is one of the unique games of the channel because it's played in person with miniatures and everything, like super cool miniature building by DM Dave. And then we're off for a couple days, which is pretty rare. Saturday is going to be session 0 for our old school essentials game. Alex is the DM for that. I'll be playing in it. Ryan, you're in it as well. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
I'm like blank. I'm like everything's like swirling together right now. But yeah, and then later that night will be Storm King's Thunder, which that is DM Casey. So just an example of the stuff that we do in the channel. There's all kinds of other things that happen. You know, hang out, give us a follow, see what's up next. And otherwise, that is all from us. So bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Come watch us get our minds flayed next time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Mind players.
If history is any, indication, we will kill several and then take a couple back aboard our ship, and we just become this like menagerie of like, I don't even know.
Yeah, you should
Like
definitely get a
criminal.
mind